Very much, Jim Simpson, and hi, everyone. Wayne Garrett, who has had a real tough playoff and also a bad start in this World Series, 0 for 5 yesterday. He was the leading batter for the Mets in their pennant drive in the month of September. He had 6 home runs, 17 runs batted in that month. And Wayne leading off, he'll be followed by Felix Millan and Rusty Staub. By the blue, reading a sign, and we're all set to go for the second game of this World Series. There's the windup and the pitch. It is low and outside a ball. Blue 120 and lost 9. In the month of August, he had a fine August and also September. 11 and 2 in those 2 months. There's a fastball back and swung on a miss. Pitch right over the inside corner, about belt out. The first strike by Vida Blue. He struck out 158 batters in the regular season, worked 264. Now time is called as the first base umpire, Jerry Neudecker, runs in, says something to Augie Donatelli. And evidently there's something that is bothering the situation in back of home plate over where the photographers are on the Oakland side of the field, the third base side.
Looks like the top of a container for camera equipment or something was up and was reflecting toward first base and getting in the eyes of Simpson.
Now the pitch back to the plate, a fastball over the outside corner. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wayne Garrett, a left-hand batter, batted .256 for the year with 16 home runs, 58 runs batted in. Now the next delivery, and Garrett takes it. It is just outside, ball 2. Again, Blue back with that fastball and just off the edge of the plate. Garrett being played just about straight away by the Oakland outfield. And at 2-2 to pitch to Garrett. It is taken again, rolling outside, just off the plate, and the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. In the course of the season, Vida Blue had 105 walks on his pitching record. Was in 37 balls. Ball as a starting pitcher. Now it's 3-2. The pitch back to Garrett, swung on and missed, and Garrett has struck out the first out of the ball game. Got him with a 3-2 fastball. That'll bring up Felix Millan. Felix was 1 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. Batted .290 for the year with 3 home runs and 37 runs batted in. Set a Met record for base hits in a single season at 185, breaking a record that was originally set by Tommy Agee. 1 away. We're just underway. Millan with that bat choked up about 12 or so inches, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. Blue gave up 26 home runs in the regular season. Now the left-hander into the windup, and the pitch to Millan is taken over the outside corner. Millan decoying a bunt. It's called a strike. 1-1 the count. Augie Donatelli, a National League umpire, calling the balls and strikes. If there is a difference in the strike zone, it would be that the National League has a lower strike zone. Fastball is swapped to the right side out of play. 1-2 to count. The ball is fielded nicely in foul territory by a very pretty lady. Down in left field and also in right field in foul territory here in Oakland, they have ball girls. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Millan out of the batter's box now gets back in, goes into that deep crouch, almost over the outside part of the plate. He is really leaning over. And at 1-2 to pitch by Blue, it is in, called strike 3, and Millan did not like the call. So Blue has struck out his first 2 batters. And that brings up Rusty Staub, who batted .279 in the year. He is making his first appearance in a World Series. Rusty actually was in yesterday's ball game as a pinch hitter. When he was announced into the lineup, Dick Williams switched his pitchers, and then Rusty did not bat. He was called back to the bench, and Jim Beecham hit for him. First pitch to Staub. It's outside the ball. Rusty had 3 home runs in the championship series against the Cincinnati Reds. They were all off left-hand pitching. 2 off Ross Grimsley, the other off Don Gullis. 1 ball, no strike. And the pitch back by Blue, swung on and missed. Fastball, it's 1-1. Blue has good velocity as he starts off this ball game. Staub, a left-hand batter, being played as a full hitter. The pitch back is just off the plate, and it's a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now the left-hander into the windup, and the 2-1 delivery. Staub swings and fouls the ball back. On the 2 swings that Rusty has made, He has released the bat with his top hand on the follow-through. He was injured when he crashed into the right field fence against the Cincinnati Reds in the 5th game of the championship series and just about had a shoulder separation. Closest thing, according to the team physician. 2-2 the count, and a pitch back, another sort of half swing, and a foul ball back against the screen. Thus, he is not swinging with any authority at this time. 2-2 the count. He is going to take an early plane back to New York after this ball game and take special batting practice tomorrow on the travel day. The Mets team going back tomorrow, leaving at 10 o'clock from San Francisco. Here's a pitch for a ball. It's 3-2, and the second full count for Vida Blue here in the first inning. On deck batter for the Mets, Cleon Jones. Blue takes a long time in reading the sign, so Staub asks for a timeout and steps out of the batter's box. Now Staub back into the batter's box and Blue into the windup, and the 3-2 pitch. It is grounded out over the top of the mound, coming hard as Campaneris to field it in front of second base. Before the first is in time for the out, and the side is retired in order. The score after one half inning, the Mets nothing, the Oakland A's coming up.
Gary Koosman out on the mound now with a 14-15 record on the year, but after the All-Star game, he was a superb pitcher with an earned run average over the latter half of the season of only 2. And, of course, he won that 9-2 game in the playoffs last Monday against Cincinnati, and in the World Series of 1969, he was the pitching hero. Milner will be at first, Mion at second, Harrelson the shortstop, Garrett at third, Jones in left, Hahn in center, Staub in right, Rhodey behind the plate, and, of course, Koosman on the mound. The Mets have been very anxious today. Koosman started warming up early, confused apparently about the start time, so he warmed up actually twice. And as the leadoff batter, Garrett, was batting, Beyonde was the man in the on-deck circle, but Staub was right there with him. They had 2 on deck. So the Mets are anxious. They want to square the series as Campaneris steps in, and he is out.
All right, Jim, and Gary Koosman with an earned run average for the entire season of 2.84 with a 14-15 record will be pitching to Bert Campaneris, who was 1 for 4 yesterday. Campaneris batted .250 in the regular season with 4 home runs, 42 batted in. The first pitch by Koosman, a fastball. It swung on and missed, strike 1. Koosman made 35 appearances, all as a starting pitcher. With 12 complete games, he had 3 shutouts. Now the left-hander into the windup, the 1-strike pitch, and it is swung on and fouled back against the screen, and again Koosman back with a fastball. It's strike 2. Koosman worked .263 in innings pitched. He had 156 strikeouts, walked 76, gave up 18 home runs, and allowed 234 base hits. And the next pitch is way outside and high as Koosman changes up. It's off Jerry Grody's glove and rolls away, and that got the attention of the crowd. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It'll be Bert Campaneris, Joe Rudi, and Sal Bando, the first 3 batters for the A's. Now the signs are out, and the 1-2 pitch. It is grounded out to shortstop. A 2-hopper for Bud Harrelson. He fields the ball, throws to first base, 1 away. That will bring up Joe Rudi, who was 1 for 3 yesterday, and he had a run batted in. Yesterday's ball game, Rudi tried to bunt his way on 2 times. One time he was hit out of the batter's box and was out. The other time he was credited with a sacrifice, although he was bunting for a base hit. Campaneris was on first at the time. Rudi hit .270 in the regular season with 12 home runs and 66 runs batted in. Here's the pitch by Koosman, a changeup, but it's outside of the strike zone. It's ball 1. Koosman will change up off the fastball and also will throw a slow curveball. Mixes in a hard, fast-breaking curveball with his fastball. Gary from Morris, Minnesota. 1-0 pitch. Again, it is a change of pace. It's ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Breeze is blowing in from left field, but a good hitting day. On a bright, sunshiny day, the temperature somewhere around 75 degrees. 2 balls, no strikes. Then Koosman's next delivery. Breaking ball over at the knees, a called strike. The Oakland hitters were complaining about the background in center field. They have allowed the bleacher area in center field to be filled in with spectators there, but they do have a hitting background in straightaway center field. 2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch, a fastball over the outside corner above the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That time, Kuzman coming back with the fastball, mixing up his speed to left fielder Joe Rudy. Rudy's base hit yesterday was a line drive to right field off an outside fastball by John Matlack. Next pitch is hit deep to left, just way back. Jones back to the warning track, back to the wall, and he loses the ball in the sun, and it drops down to the warning track. It'll go as a 2-base hit as Leon Jones lost the ball in the sun. Leon went back to the wall. He was there. He looked up, could not find the ball, and it dropped beside him. Break of the ball game, and we should point out that left field here is a very difficult sun field. In yesterday's ball game, Rudy lost a fly ball in the outfield and went for extra bases. So runner in scoring position, 1 away. And the batter is Sal Bando. He was 1 for 3 yesterday. Singled to center field in the 3rd. Bando, a right-hand batter, hit .288 in the season. There's a drive to right center. Going over is Don Hahn. He could not get to it. It'll be in for a base hit. It rolls on through to the wall. Rudy scores from second base, and Bando on his way to 3rd. The throw there is offline, and he goes in standing up. Now Bando with a 3-base hit, and the Oakland A's lead 1. At the mound as Jerry Kuzman talks over the situation with Bud Harrelson. Batter coming up is Reggie Jackson. And the Mets will set up with their infield either in or back against the left-hand batter. Jackson in yesterday's ball game was 0 for 3. He also walked on 4 pitches. And the Mets are playing their infield in. Their infield is in, and they're set for a play at the plate. The first pitch by Kuzman is low at ball 1. Jackson batted .293 in the regular season with 32 home runs, 117 runs batted in. He led the American League in home runs and runs batted in. 1 ball, no strikes. A's leading 1-0, and a runner at 3rd base. 1 man out, bottom half of the 1st. Now Kuzman working from the set position. Here's the pitch. It is over the outside corner. It's all strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Kuzman again going to the set position, checking the runner at 3rd. Here's the pitch back. A curveball line down the right field line, but foul. All foul by about 10 or so feet. And they count now 1-2 against Reggie Jackson. Jackson hitting a high-hanging curveball and pulling the ball foul. Kuzman in a jam right here. Now again goes to the set position, and his 1-2 delivery. Swung on and foul tip. The ball hitting Grody somewhere around the chest protector, and he is double over right in back of home plate. Tom McKenna, the trainer for the New York Mets, out to check Grody out. Also says Yogi Berra. Grody doubled up on his knees. Situation starting off in a hurry in this ball game. After Campaneris had grounded out to short, Joe Rudy hit a long fly ball to left field that Leon Jones lost in the sun. It dropped beside him. And then immediately, Sal Bando tripled up the alley in right center field. So a run is in and a runner at 3rd, and time is back in again as Grody is all right. Yogi Berra back to the bench. One and 2, the count to Reggie Jackson. And Kuzman from that set position comes back to the plate, and a fastball is swung on and missed, and Jackson is struck out. Kuzman dropping down to a off out of sidearm position to throw the fastball. He got it in high and tight, and Jackson struck out. Now with 2 men out, the infield drops back, and the batter coming up, the first baseman, Gene Kenneth. Kenneth 0 for 3 yesterday, batted .258 in the regular season with 24 home runs and 84 runs batted in. Gary Grody out to the mound to talk with Gary Guzman. Now Grody back, getting set to send out the sign. Bando fakes coming up the line from his third base position, and Kuzman steps back off the rubber and fakes the throw to third to move Bando back to third base. Now Kuzman ready. Here's the pitch. And it's in for a called strike. Tennis being played as a pull hitter by the New York Mets outfield. Kuzman into the windup, and the 1-strike pitch. It's high and inside. Tennis has to back away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 men away, bottom of the first. A's leading 1-0. Next pitch is high and outside. Again, the fastball. 2-1. Down in the area where Bob Hope threw out the first ball. Hank Aaron sitting down there. He threw out the first ball in yesterday's ball game. Now a curveball back, and it's swung on and missed. 2-2. Kuzman getting that curveball inside. It might have been out of the strike zone, and Tennis going for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Kuzman backing off the pitching rubber, and so Tennis steps back out of the batter's box. Now he gets back in. Kuzman sets up. Here's the windup. And the next delivery. It is grounded foul. So the count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Against left-hand pitching, the A's in the course of the season won 27 and lost 22. The Mets were 23 and 27 against left-hand pitching. Now again, it's the 2-2 pitch, and the pitch is inside. Ball 3, and a full count to Gene Kenneth. On deck batter, Jesus Alou. And here's Kuzman's 3-2 pitch. It is inside and low, and Kenneth walks. Runners at first and third with 2 men out. And the batter coming up, Jesus Alou.
We're going to Jesus.
Alou was 0 for 3 in yesterday's ball game. In the season, Alou hit .306 in 36 ball games. Had 1 home run, 11 runs batted in. Right-hand batter. One of 3 brothers to play in the major league. One time they batted in order against the New York Mets in the Polo Ground. All playing for the Giants. There's a hard smash over third. A base hit down the left field line. Coming up from third is Sal Bando. Going to third base is Gene Kenneth, and Alou with a 2-base hit has put the A's ahead 2-0. Leading 2-0. They still have runners on. Runners at second and third base, and the batter coming up, the catcher, Ray Posse. And again, it's the conference at the mound as Gary Grody goes out to talk with Gary Kuzman, and Ray Sadecki starts to warm up in the bullpen for the New York Mets. Left-hander Ray Sadecki. Grody now coming back behind home plate. And Ray Fosse stepping up. He was 0 for 3 yesterday. Hit .256 in the season with 7 home runs and 52 runs batted in. Fosse, a right-hand batter. And Jerry Kuzman working from the windup. Comes to the plate. His first pitch, a fastball. It's outside and low. It's ball 1. 2-base hit by Jesus Alou is a hard smash right over the bag. No chance for Wayne Garrett, the third baseman, to get near it. Now at 1-0, the pitch back to Fosse. It is a breaking ball, too low. 2 balls, no strikes. On deck batter, the 8th batter in the batting order, Dick Green. Kuzman again backing off the pitching rubber. First base is open, and it looks like they might put Fossey on with a count of 2 balls and no strikes. First base is open, and they're going to walk Fossey now with the count going his way to 2-0. There's a pitch outside. It's ball 3. Outside again, ball 4. Second walk in the inning. The bases are loaded. The batter coming up is Dick Green, the second baseman. Green was 0 for 2 yesterday. Batted .260 in the season with 3 home runs and 42 runs batted in. And Gary Kuzman with his back to the wall. Here's his windup and the first pitch. It's in for a called strike. Brody faking a throw to first base, but no one covering, and Fossey with a quick start back to the bag. 1 strike count to Dick Green. Ball tossed to Augie Donatelli as he wants to look at the ball. He checks it out and keeps it in play. Now Kuzman into the windup and his 1-strike delivery. It is sliced foul into the stands on the first base side, and it's strike 2. Green steps out of the batter's box, does some stretching exercises, now gets back in. Gene Tennis, the runner at third, Jesus Alou, the runner at second, and Ray Fossey at first base. And the 2-strike delivery. Swung on and missed, and Green is struck out. That ends the half inning. But in the inning, the A's scored 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 2 walks, 1 intentional, and 3 men left on base. And the score at the end of 1, the A's 2, the Mets nothing.
Along with Ralph Kiner, Jim Simpson back in Oakland, California. Vida Blue warms up. He got Garrett swinging at a fastball in the first inning, struck out Leon looking at a fastball, and got Staub to send a slow roll to the Campaneras. He's had a 1, 2, 3 innings. Charles O. Finley, owner of the Oakland A's, noted for many things, thinks that he's tried to do with baseball, and his Oakland A team warmed up just now, their infield practice, with one of the innovations he wants to get into baseball, an orange baseball. They're using the regular white one as Cleon Jones steps up, and here's Ralph.
You know, Jim, that was tried and done many times before. The first time I saw that was in Ebbets Field back in the 40s. Supposedly you're supposed to be able to see the ball a little bit better if it's orange.
Well, it's the international color what they use on white jackets and for constables, police officers, guarding, everything else. It's that color orange. It's supposed to be the best color to pick up.
Well, right now it's Cleon Jones to lead off for the Mets. They're trailing 2-0. Jones batting for the first time was 2 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. And the first pitch by Blue is hit out to deep right field. It's way back into the corner goes Jesus Alou. He's looking. It is going. It is gone. Goodbye. Cleon Jones with a home run in the right field corner, and the Mets are on the scoreboard. Jones had 11 home runs in the regular season, but he hit 6 home runs in his last 10 ball games. And Cleon now has his first World Series home run, and it brings up John Milner. Milner was also 2 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. And Vida Blue with his pitch is grounded to the second baseman, Dick Green. He fields the ball, throws to first base, 1 away. The A's 2, the New York Mets 1, and the batter coming up is Jerry Grody. Grody 0 for 4 in yesterday's ball game, but he was robbed of an extra base hit. The key play of the ball game in the 4th inning by the center fielder Reggie Jackson. He also missed a home run by 3 or 4 feet down the left field line. Grody hit .256 in the regular season, but batted .300 from August 3rd on. Grody, a right-hand batter, stepping into the batter's box. And Vida Blue with his first pitch is popped into shallow right center field. Going back is Dick Green. He turns and makes the catch. 2 men away. So after the home run by Cleon Jones, 2 quick outs on 2 pitches. The batter coming up is Don on the right fielder. Mets have a run in, and there are 2 outs on 3 pitches. A's leading 2-1. On a right-hand batter, and the first pitch is a broken bat ground ball. It's picked up by Gene Tennis, and the side is retired. That's getting 1 run on 4 pitches. And no one left on base. And the score after 1.5 innings, it's Oakland 2, the New York Mets 1. By the blue, the batter for the Oakland A's. In the first pitch, a called strike, and now Kuzman back, and it's strike 2. Blue, a right-hand batter, has a lifetime batting average of .098, and there's a swing and a miss, and Kuzman has struck him out on 3 pitches. In 1971, By the blue struck out 63 times. So now, one away, it brings up Campy Campaneris for the second time in the game. His first time up, he grounded out to short. A's leading by a score of 2-1. 1 man out, bottom of the second. Kuzman now has struck out 2. He struck out Dick Green with the bases loaded to end the first inning. And the left-hander into the windup. His first pitch to Campaneris. A fastball high and away. It's ball 1. In the first inning, the A's got 2 runs on a lost fly ball in the sun by Cleon Jones and left. It went for a double. There's a fastball swung on and fouled back against the screen. It's 1-1. Then a following triple by Sal Bando that scored Rudy from second base. And Bando scored on Jesus Alous doubled on the left field line. The Mets got a run back on a home run by Cleon Jones. That came in the top of the second. Pitch back to the plate to Campaneris on the outside corner. A fastball. It's 1-2. Now Kuzman with his next delivery is swung on and fouled back into the stands on the first base side. So the count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Campaneris batted .250 in the regular season with 4 home runs and 46 runs batted in. He had 34 stolen bases in 44 attempts. Had a stolen base in yesterday's ball game. Now 1-2. The pitch is hit to right center field. Deep out there. Stop off and running, and he cannot get to it. It goes up the alley and against the fence. It's picked up by Don Hahn and Campaneris on his way for triple. He goes into third standing up, and the Oakland A's with their 4th extra base hit as they bat here in the second inning. They have had 4 hits. They have all been extra base hits. 2 doubles and 2 triples. So now a runner at third. Again, the Mets will have to make the decision as to whether or not they'll play the infield in. The batter coming up is Joe Rudy, the left fielder. And again, Asking starting up in the bullpen for the New York Mets. Sadecki going out to throw. He was throwing in the first. Mets have made their decision. They're going to play the infield in with Joe Rudy, the batter. Rudy is 2 for 4 in the series. He has doubled in this ball game. He singled and drove in a run in the first ball game. And Kuzman from the set position. The first pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 1. Campaneris with that base hit now is hit in 9 consecutive games going back to the end of the season. 2 games in the season, 5 in the playoffs, and 2 here in this World Series. Outstanding speed. The runner at third, Campy Campaneris. Kuzman working from the set position. Mets have their infield in, 1 man out, and here's the pitch to Rudy. It's a breaking ball, a hard curve ball. It's just inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jerry Kuzman, starter for the New York Mets, has never lost a championship game or World Series game. And the left-hander sets up. Here's the pitch. It is swung on and fouled back into the stands. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. That time Kuzman with a high fastball. We have a capacity crowd here today in Oakland. There might be 1 or 2 seats in the very far reaches of the upper deck. Other than that, it looks like a capacity crowd. Now at 1-2, the pitch. Hit on the ground through the middle, a base hit. scores, and the A's lead by a score of 3-1. Rudy gets his second base hit of this ball game, his second run batted in of the World Series, and the A's lead 3-1. With the infield in, that ball not hit hard, but hit just far enough to Harrelson, the shortstop, left, that he could not get to it, and it went into center field. That'll bring up Sal Bando. He tripled to right center field in the first. Driving in Joe Rudy, who had doubled from second base. And the first pitch to Bando, a breaking ball way inside. A good play on it by Grody. A one-hand catch, this ball one. Bando is 2 for 4 in the series. And the pitch back by Kuzman, a changeup, but it misses the strike zone. It's ball 2. A's have 3 runs on 5 base hits. The Mets have 1 run on 1 base hit, a home run by Jones. 2 balls, no strikes. The next delivery, a change of pace, swung on and missed. 2-1. Joe Rudy, the runner at first base, did not attempt to steal a base in the regular season. Has a very short lead. Kuzman sets it. And the pitch. It is again a changeup, and this one is low and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck batter, Reggie Cleveland. And the A's right here in a good hit and run situation. Bando stepping out of the batter's box. Reggie Jackson, the on deck batter. And the pitch, the runner going. The throw to second base is perfect, and Rudy is out. Perfect throw by Jerry Grody as the runner was going on the 3-1 count. So now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. No one on. And Kuzman will be working from the windup. And here's the pitch. It is swung on and missed, and Sal Bando is struck out. 3rd strikeout for Jerry Kuzman in the ball game, but in the inning, 1 run on 2 hits. We're going now to the top of the 3rd with Oakland leading by a score of 3-1. And for the New York Mets, Bud Harrelson to lead off. Ray Sadecki walking in from the Met bullpen toward the bench. Be a possibility that Yogi Berra might go for a pinch hitter for his pitcher, Jerry Kuzman, who is the scheduled on-deck batter. Vida Blue with his first pitch to Harrelson, a fastball outside and high. It's ball 1. Blue has been reached for 1 base hit, a home run by Cleon Jones down in right field over the 330 mark in the corner. And the pitch back is inside, off the glove of Ray Fosse, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Harrelson was 0 for 2 yesterday. He also walked on 4 pitches. And Harrelson, a switch hitter, and it's taken at the knees. They call strike 2 and 1. Harrelson batted .258 in the regular season. He had no home runs, 20 runs batted in. He hit in 14 of his last 16 ball games. Now at 2-1. The pitch swung on and fouled back into the stands. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jerry Kuzman is in the on-deck circle. A's leading 3-1. Mets batting in the top of the 3rd, no one out. And Vida Blue into the windup. The 2-2 pitch high and off the glove of the catcher, Ray Fosse. The count 3-2. Blue struck out his first 2 batters in this ball game. He has not walked one. Now 3-2. The pitch to Harrelson. It is over the outside corner. Strike 3 call. Blue with a perfect pitch right on the outside corner. His 3rd strikeout, and now 1 away, and Kuzman is coming up to hit.
Number 36, Jerry Kuzman.
Kuzman's lifetime batting average is .088. He has hit 1 home run. Kuzman, a left-hand pitcher, is a right-hand batter, as is Vida Blue. A's leading 3-1. Got 2 runs in the first. Mets got a run back in the top of the second, and the A's added on 1 more in the bottom half of the second. First pitch to Kuzman is a fastball. It's fouled back into the stand. A's are playing Kuzman shaded as though he were a left-hand batter, figuring that he cannot pull the fastball that's thrown by Vida Blue. There's a bouncing ball out toward short. It's cut off by the third baseman, Sal Bando, to throw to first base for the out. 2 up, and Garrett for the second time. Garrett was struck out in a 3-2 fastball his first time up.
Third baseman, Wayne Garrett.
Garrett batted .256 in the regular season with 16 home runs and 58 runs batted in. Left-hand batter, slightly open stance. And the first pitch. It's over the inside corner, a called strike. Vida Blue pitched 4 shutouts in the regular season. He had 13 complete games. Now the left-hander back, and the pitch is swung on and missed, and it's strike 2. And Garrett fooled badly by a breaking ball, had a half swing. Blue finished up with 5 winning decisions in the regular season. Now it's 2 strikes. The pitch to Garrett. It is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the windup and 1-2 delivery. It is drilled to right, and this one is gone. Goodbye. Long home run by Wayne Jed, and the Mets now have picked up their second run of the ball game, and they trail by a score of 3-2. So Garrett gets his first hit in the World Series. He had gone 0 for 6. And it's now a 3-2 ball game with Felix Millan coming up.
Second baseman, Felix Millan.
Millan was struck out on a 3-2 fastball his first time up. He got caught looking. He did not like the call. So the Mets not noticeable home run hitting. They had 85 in the regular season compared to the A's 147. Have had all the home runs so far in this World Series. And there's the first pitch. A called strike at the knee. And Blue into the windup. The 1-strike delivery. It is grounded slowly out to the right side, foul. And they counted strike 2. Leon had a 3-base hit in the first ball game. Ball that was misplayed and/or lost in the sun by the left fielder Joe Rudy. Left field, a vicious sun field here. 2-strike count. And Blue with his next delivery. It is grounded out to third, fielded on 1 big hop by Sal Bando. The throw to first base retires the side. 1 run on the home run by Wayne Garrett, the only hit, and no one left. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings, the Oakland 3, the Mets 2. We're going to the bottom of the third, and the leadoff batter will be Reggie Jackson, the center fielder for the Oakland A's. A's with 3 runs on 5 hits. The Mets have had 2 runs on 2 hits. There have been 7 hits in the ball game, and 6 have been extra base hits. And the first pitch to Jackson is right at him, and he has to hit the dirt. Ball 1. Jackson was struck out on a high fastball his first time up. Kuzman has given up 5 hits. 4 of them extra base hits, 2 triples and 2 doubles. He has walked 2, 1 intentionally, and he has struck out 4. He'll be working to Reggie Jackson, Gene Tennis, and Jesus Alou, and the pitch back is called a strike. 1-1. And Kuzman into the windup and the 1-1 delivery. Fastball swung on and fouled back against the screen. That pitch might have been out of the strike zone. High inside fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This year, Jerry Kuzman set a record for Mets pitchers, 4 consecutive scoreless innings, breaking a record that was originally set by Tom Seaver. Pitch back, grounded right over the mound, but fielded right at second base by Bud Harrelson. A throw to first base in time for the out. Harrelson straddled the bag at second base as he fielded the ball and then got it off to first base in time. 1 away, it brings up Gene Tennis. Tennis watching a 3-2 pitch his first time up. A's leading 3-2. 1 man out, bottom half of the third. And Kuzman with his first pitch to Gene Tennis. A changeup as high as ball 1. And the left-hander's next delivery, a curveball breaking over and in, and it's all a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And it's 1-1. The next pitch, outside in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kuzman has a lifetime record of 79 wins, 68 losses. And the 2-1 pitch, grounded foul. Ball grounded off on the third base side, 2-2. His big season, a 19-win season. And then in 1969, he won 17 and then won 2 in the World Series. 2-2. The next delivery. It is a breaking ball that's inside. Tennis started to swing and then held up in time. So, full count. Tennis walked in a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. Kuzman's next delivery, it's outside, and again Tennis walked. Kuzman's third walk. The A's have a runner at first base with 1 away, and Jesus Alou coming up. He doubled down the left field line his first time up.
Jesus Alou.
Alou, a right-hand batter. Batted .306 during the season in 36 ball games. A's now have had at one time in their history all 3 Alou brothers, Felipe, Matty, and Jesus. Again, it's Sadecki throwing in the bullpen for the Mets. The left-hander throw to first base, a close play, but Tennis passed safely. Tennis only had 2 stolen bases in the regular season and 4 tries. Kuzman sets up again. And the pitch to the plate. It is a breaking ball outside and high. Mets have seen a lot of Jesus Alou. First with the San Francisco Giants. Later on with Houston. 1-0 pitch. It's lined to right field, a base hit. Rusty Scott fields the ball, flips it into second base where Tennis goes and stops. And the A's now have runners at first and second as they pick up their 6th base hit. And the batter coming up, the catcher, Ray Fosse. Alou now is 2 for 2 in this game, a double and a single. Toppers at the mound as Gary Grote talks it over with Jerry Kuzman. Fosse was walked intentionally in the first inning to load up the bases, and Kuzman struck out Dick Green. So Fosse, a right-hand batter, stepping into the batter's box as Kuzman looks in for the sign. Now Kuzman going to the set position, and Fosse asking for time and getting it, and Donatelli, the home plate umpire, stepping out from his regular umpiring position. Time back in. And Kuzman's pitch. Check swing, bouncing ball to Kuzman. He fields the ball, throws back. Kuzman had trouble getting the ball out of his glove and threw it high and wide at second base, and Neon had to leave the bag to make the catch, and the bases are loaded. Error will be charged to Jerry Kuzman. A throwing error, and here comes Yogi Berra out to the mound. Yogi Berra has Ray Sadecki warm in the bullpen, a left-hander. In a similar situation in the first inning, bases loaded, Dick Green was struck out. Kuzman struck him out on 3 pitches. And the sign has gone out. And Ray Sadecki is coming in the ballgame, and Jerry Kuzman is going out.
Jerry Kuzman worked 3 1/3 innings, started thus far with 3 runs, 6 hits, struck out 4, walked 3, had a go possible for all 3 men on base. Kenneth over third, Alou down at second, and Ray Foskey on at first, hooked there by Kuzman's throwing error. Jerry in his last 4 starts, including the playoffs, had allowed 3 earned runs in 32 2/3 innings of pitching, for an earned run average of 0.83, and he had won 3 and lost none. Already today, in 2 1/3 innings of pitching, he has given up 3 earned runs, and it might be more before Sadecki can retire the side. Mets down in the World Series 1-0. Down in this ball game 3-2, and Ray Sadecki, still another left-hander, Ralph, is coming on to warm up.
Mets are very long on left-hand pitching, and Sadecki has done both a good job as a starting pitcher for the Mets this year and also in relief. Ray Sadecki, a former 20-game winner for the St. Louis Cardinals, spent time with the San Francisco Giants. The Mets got him from the San Francisco Giants. He was in 31 ball games this year. He had 11 starts. Had a record of 5 wins and 4 losses. He's 32 years of age. Lives in Kansas City. This is his 3rd World Series game. Started twice for St. Louis in 1964, and he had a record of 1 win and no losses. So Ray Sadecki replacing Jerry Kuzman. Sadecki has a lifetime record of 121 wins. And he has lost 119.
Second baseman, Dick Green.
So the base is loaded, and Ray Sadecki to work to Dick Green. Green struck out his first time up. Mets are playing their infield back at short and second, hoping for a double play. 1 man out, bottom half of the 3rd. Hayes leading 3-2. And Sadecki working from the windup. His first pitch to Green, a breaking ball that's inside a ball. Dean Dennis, the runner at 3rd. Jesus Alou, the runner at second base. And Ray Foskey, the runner at first base. And now Sadecki reading the sign. And the pitch is on its way. A fastball swung on and missed. Letter high fastball in the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Harry Parker is now throwing in the bullpen for the Mets, the right-hand pitcher. Sadecki with a fastball and curveball. Also, there's a squeeze, but on. The ball is bunted on and missed, and Dennis is hung right between home and third. The ball dropped by Garrett, and now Garrett picks it up and throws it into Milner as the runners move up behind the play. So the squeeze play put on, the suicide squeeze was put on, and Green failed to bunt the ball. Brody took it, ran up the line, ran Dennis back towards third base, threw to Garrett, and Garrett dropped the ball. He had to pick it up, came in to cover around home plate, and the out made. On the play, Jesus Alou moved up to third base, and Ray Foskey to second. And the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you're scoring, the play went 2-5-3 for the out on Dennis. First base is now open. Pitcher is on deck. Vita Blue, the pitcher. And Sadecki reading the sign from Grody as Jesus Alou bluffs up the line. Here's the pitch. It is a curveball and swung on and either missed or called a strike. An argument by Green at the plate, but it's a strikeout either way. And the side retired without scoring. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 walk, and 2 men left on. And the score at the end of 3, the A's 3, the Mets 2.
back in Oakland, California with Ralph Conner. This is Jim Simpson. We go to the New York fourth. Oakland out in front by the score of 3-2. It'll be Staub, Jones, and Milner to face Vida Blue, who on two occasions has been given a 2-run lead, and each time has had that lead whittled by home runs. First by Cleon Jones, who up in this inning, and in the New York third on Wayne Garrett. Home run with a count of 1-2 on him and 2 out, and Blue made the mistake. It's 3-2. Here's Ralph.
Okay, Jim, and the first batter for the New York Mets will be Rusty Staub. He grounded out to short in a 3-2 pitch his first time up. Mets have had 2 base hits, and the A's have had 6. First pitch to Staub is way outside. It's off the glove of Ray Fosse's ball 1. Staub, Cleon Jones, and John Milner for the Mets here as they bat in the top of the 4th. Pitch back to Staub, a called strike over the outside corner. 1-1. Staub, a left-hand batter, played as a slight pull hitter by the center fielder Reggie Jackson. Next pitch is a fastball just high, 2 balls and a strike. Vida Blue has struck out 3. He has walked none. And the 2 hit home runs by Wayne Garrett and Cleon Jones. Now Staub's one out toward left field. It's a bad Sunfield. Coming over is Joe Rudy. He's has some trouble with the sun and then makes the catch right on the foul line. Joe Rudy making the play and fighting that sun all the way, 1 away, and it brings up Cleon Jones who hit a home run to right field his first time up. Jones now has had 3 hits and 5 times up in this World Series. He batted .300 in the championship playoffs with 6 hits and 20 times up against the Cincinnati Reds. And Blue with his first delivery. It is swung on and missed. Blue with a fastball and Jones with a hard swing but no contact. Jones batted .260 in the regular season with 11 home runs. Leon missed a lot of action. And at 1 strike, the next pitch. Fastball, it pops out of the glove and it's called a ball. 1-1 the count. Ray Fosse had about 6 or 7 balls that have popped out of his glove in trying to handle Vida Blue. Now the left-hander back into the windup. Here's the pitch. And Jones drives it on the line to center field, but Jackson over, and he can't get to it. It's in front of him. He blocks the ball with his body and then quickly picks it up, and Jones has to hold at first base. Line drive to center field. It appeared that Jackson might catch the ball, but then the ball sunk out and was in front of him by about 2 or 3 feet, and he got his body in front of it to block it. And then he quickly got to it and held Jones to first base. The Mets now have had their 3rd hit in the ball game, 2 now by Jones, and it brings up John Milner, who grounded out to second on his first pitch his first time up. Milner 2 for 4 in yesterday's ball game, led the club in home runs. He had 23 in the first pitch by Blue, a called strike at the knee. A's leading 3-2, and the Mets have the time run at first. They bat here in the top of the 4th inning. And Blue with his next pitch is hit off the hands by a foul ball, fielded in back to third in foul territory. And some of the fans here thinking an out was made as the third baseman Sal Bando backhanded the ball through to first ahead of John Milner, but the ball a foul ball, and it's a strike 2 count. Jones back to first base. Mets are not a running ball club. They had only 27 stolen bases in the season and 45 tries. Jones has a good-sized lead right now. He doesn't go, and the next pitch is fouled into the stands on the third base side. Blue back with a fastball, and Milner behind the pitch and fouling the ball off to the left. Milner drove in 72 runs for the Mets this year, second to Rusty Staub. Staub had 76. And again, the 2-strike delivery, and it's foul, this time over toward the Met on deck circle. Count stays at strike 2. That fits a breaking ball by Vida Blue. Blue's lifetime record is 53 wins and 38 losses. Last year he won 6 and lost 10. This year 20 and 9. And the left-hander to the set position. Again, his two-strike pitch, and is drilled to right center field, way back there, and in for the catch is Alou in the side. Picks up the second out of the inning. Jones back to first base. So now 2 away, and the batter will be Jerry Grody. Jerry popped to second base his first time up. Grody 0 for 4 in the first game. He has not had a base hit, but he was robbed of a cinched 2 base hit by Reggie Jackson in yesterday's ball game on a fantastic running catch. It was the key play of the ball game. Grody, a right-hand batter. Jones, good lead at first base, fakes it running, and the pitch is taken low. It's ball 1. Grody also missed a home run by 3 or 4 feet down the left field line in yesterday's ball game. He hit only 1 in the regular season. He is a good hit-and-run man. 1-0 pitch. Grody takes it low again. 2 balls and no strikes. And now Fosse walking the ball back to the mound. Says something to Vida Blue. Quickly turns around and comes on back to the home plate area. Two balls, no strikes. Again, the signs are out. And Blue with his next delivery. It's hit hard to third. Mando boots the ball. And all hands are safe. Mando didn't find the handle. Booted the ball. An error charged to the third baseman. And the Mets now have a runner at second base in scoring position. And Grody on at first on the air. That brings up the right fielder, Don Hahn.
Now batting third, Don Hahn.
Hahn grounded out to first his first time up. He's 0 for 3 so far in the series. A's leading 3-2, but the Mets with runners at first and second base. And Blue with his first pitch to Hahn. It's low for a ball. Each side has made an error in this ball game. Now Blue to the set position, and a 1-0 pitch. Hit down foul over the first base coach, Roy McMillan. And the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets have Roy McMillan, the veteran Major League shortstop, coaching at first base, and Eddie Yost, outstanding Major League third baseman in his day, coaching at third. Rube Walker is their pitching coach, and their bullpen coach, Ignatano. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hahn hits it to right field. Coming up is Jesus Alou, and he makes the catch, and the side retired. A line drive right at Jesus Alou, and in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left on. And the score after 3.5 innings, the A's 3, the New York Mets 2.
Lead off for Oakland, pitcher Vida Blue.
Ralph Kiner along with Jim Simpson from Oakland, California. The A's batting here in the bottom of the 4th inning, leading by a score of 3-2. And the first batter for the A's will be Vida Blue. On the mound, Ray Sadecki, who relieved Jerry Kuzman, and the first pitcher called strike. Blue was struck out on 3 pitches by Jerry Kuzman his first time up. Now Sadecki working to his second batter in this ball game. He comes back with a sweeping curveball that catches over the outside corner, a strike call. Blue now has seen 5 pitches. They have all been strikes. And here's number 6. It is swung on and fouled. The count holds at strike 2. Blue has had 1 home run in his Major League career. And I believe it came his first time up in the Major League. And Sadecki again with a 2-strike delivery. It is high in the ball. 1-2. A's have had 3 runs on 6 hits. They've also had 3 walks, 1 intentional. The Mets have 2 runs on 3 base hits. Next pitch is hit down on the third base side, a broken bat. Ball, a foul ball, and the count holds at 1-2, and Blue back to get another bat. Jerry Kuzman went 2 innings for the Mets, was charged with all 3 runs. Gave up 6 hits. Struck out 4 and walked 3. And Ray Sadecki, working to his second batter, came in with the bases loaded and picked up an out on a missed suicide squeeze and then struck out Green. Next pitch is a fastball that swung on and missed, and Brewer struck out for the second time. Sadecki now has pitched to 2 batters and struck them out. And with 1 away, the batter coming up will be Campy Campaneris, who has tripled and 2 times up. Campaneris has had 2 hits and 6 times up in this series. And Sadecki with his first pitch to the right-hand batter. It's down low, a ball. A's got 2 in the first. The Mets got 1 back in the second. The A's got another in the bottom half of the second. It leads 3-1. The Mets got a run back in the top of the third, and that's the way it stands at 3-2. Here's a pitch for a strike, and it's 1-1. Campaneris out of the batter's box, now gets back in. Wayne Garrett, the third baseman for the Mets, is very shallow to guard against the possibility of a bunt. There's a high fly ball that's foul down in the left field area, back into the stands about 40 rows or so. And the count holds at 1-2, and with the count going to a 1-ball, 2-strike count, both Wayne Garrett, the third baseman, and John Milner, the first baseman, dropping back to a deeper position. Campaneris beat out a bunt for a base hit in yesterday's ball game. And the 1-2 pitch, he tries to bunt, but then sees the ball out of the strike zone, pulls the bat back, it's ball 2. So even though the count was at 2 strikes, Campaneris was going to try and bunt his way on again. Again, he's even with the bat. 2-2, and Sadecki back to the right-hand batter. There's a swing and a miss, and strike 3, and Sadecki has pitched to 3 batters and struck them all out. 7th batter, 2 strikeouts in the ballgame. That brings up Joe Rudy. He has 2 hits and 2 times up. A double in the first inning and a single in the second. The single in the second drove in what is now the leading run in the ballgame. Rudy now has had 3 hits in 5 times up in the series. And the first pitch to the right-hand batter. Fastball topped out in front of the mound. Coming up is Sadecki to field it. He fields the ball, throws to first base in time for the out. So the first 1, 2, 3 inning by a Met pitcher in this ball game, and the score at the end of 4, it's the Oakland A's 3, the New York Mets 2.
Right. The next step will be Bud Harrelson, pitcher Ray Sadecki, and then back to the top of the batting order to Wayne Garrett, who hit a home run in 2 times. Vida Blue has completed his warm-ups, and for the 5th, he'll get a run.
Okay, Jim, and as Bud Harrelson steps up to the batter's box, Harry Parker, a right-hander, starts to throw in the bullpen for the Mets to get set for any change for Yogi Berra and the New York Mets. If the pitcher comes up here in this inning, he'll be ready to go to a pinch hitter. Bud Harrelson has struck out in his 1 appearance. He was called out on the 3-2 fastball by Vida Blue. Blue has struck out 3 in the ballgame. And the left-hander with his first pitch is hit out to center field. Reggie Jackson moving up, now moving back a step or 2 and making the catch. 1 away, and Ray Sadecki is being called back. And George Theodore, who has made only 1 batting appearance in the last half of the season, is going to be the pinch hitter in the ballgame. Theodore was out of action with a dislocated hip at one point in the season, was in the hospital for quite some time, and now he is making his first World Series appearance. Harry Parker will be the Mets' next pitcher in this ballgame as the Mets go to the pinch hitter as they trail by 1. Theodore also missed some action in the regular season when he was hit actually right on his eyeglasses and received a cut on the forehead when he was hit by a pitch by Gary Ross of the San Diego Padres. Theodore, a right-hand batter. And the first pitch to George is off the glove of Fosse. It's inside ball one. Theodore made one appearance since his dislocated hip and was struck out. One ball, no strikes. Blew into the windup. The pitch to Theodore is taken high. 2-0 the count. Blue with a record of 20-9 this year. One of 3 20-game winners for the Oakland A's. And the 2-0 pitch taken for a strike. Theodore out decoying a bunch and taking the pitch back all the way, 2-1. Ray Sadecki, leaving the ball game for a pinch hitter, worked 1 2/3 innings. Struck out 3 batters. There's a swing and a foul back into the stands. It's 2-2. Pitcher record on the losing side, Gary Kuzman. The starting pitcher for the New York Mets. He went 2 1/3 innings, gave up all 3 runs. There's a bouncing ball through the middle, coming over Campaneris to field it and back at second. And the throw on the first base is in time for the out. Good range by Campy Campaneris, a fine defensive ball player for the Oakland A's. That will bring up Wayne Garrett. Wayne homered his last time up. Mets 2 runs coming on home runs, one by Cleon Jones and one by Wayne. Garrett had a personal high in home runs this year of 16. And now time is called as a ball gets away in the bullpen and rolls out into the right field area. Garrett's home run was a long drive to deep right field. Left-hand batter against the left-hand pitcher. And here's the first pitch. And Garrett takes a fastball high. Ball 1. Blew into the windup and the 1-0 delivery. And Garrett takes it low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Garrett had 72 walks in the regular season. Now he checks with Eddie Yost to see whether or not he'll be hitting on the 2-0 pitch. And it's on the way. And he takes it for a called strike. Did not like the call on that pitch by Augie Donatelli. 2-1. Garrett steps out of the batter's box and now gets back in. They have banners all over the ballpark, but probably not as many as we'll see at Shea Stadium when this series continues Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. 2-1 pitch outside for a ball at 3 balls and 1 strike. Tom Seaver is scheduled to pitch Tuesday night. He won 19 and lost 10 in the regular season. He'll be opposed by Jim Hunter, who won 21 and lost 5. Should be quite a pitching matchup there. Next pitch is low and outside, and Garrett walks. That's the first walk given up by Vida Blue, and the Mets have the tying run at first, but 2 men away. And the batter coming up is Felix Millan. Millan has struck out, and he also has grounded out.
Second baseman, Felix Millan.
Games at Shea Stadium in New York will be Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and necessary Thursday night. All starting at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And if it continues on here to Oakland for Saturday and Sunday day ball games. Darrell Knowles, the left-hander, starting to throw in the bullpen for Oakland. Darrell Knowles, the left-hand pitcher, and Horacio Pena also throwing, a right-hander. Here's the first pitch to Felix Millan. It's low for a ball. Millan, with a base hit in yesterday's ball game, is 1 for 6. Batted .290 for the season for the Mets. His lifetime average before last year was .281. Now the 1-0 delivery, and it's taken for a called strike. The breaking ball in, 1-1. Millan came to the Mets with George Stone, who had a record of 12 and 3 for the Mets this year, in exchange for Danny Priscilla and Gary Gentry. Priscilla and Gentry going to the Atlanta Braves. Now throw to first base, and Garrett back from a short lead. Garrett leads the club in stolen bases. He had 6 in 11 tries. 1 ball, 1 strike. A's leading 3-2. The Mets with a runner at first base, 2 men out as they bat in the top of the 5th inning. And the pitch. It is grounded out to deep short. Campaneris fields it, throws the second in time as Green covers there, and the side is retired on the 4th play. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, and 1 man left. And the score after 4 1/2 innings, the A's 3, the Mets 2. Well, we've gone through the scheduled first half of this ball game. It's been sort of a strange type ball game. The A's have been doing most of the hitting. They have 3 runs on 6 hits. They've also received 3 walks. The Mets have had 2 runs on 3 base hits. We have a pitching change as Harry Parker comes in the ball game. And now here for the play-by-play, Jim Simpson.
Thank you, Ralph Conner. Parker, in 38 games during the regular season, used sparingly at the beginning in 9 starts as a starter. Won 8, lost 4. 3.34 his earned run average, had 5 saves. 26-year-older out of Illinois, the base who tripled and scored in the first and struck out swinging in the second. First pitch from Parker. Down low, ball 1. A's lead the 3-2. 3 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. 2 runs, 3 hits and 1 error for New York. Parker right back, misses outside. It's 2-0 to Bando with Reggie Jackson on deck. Bright sunshiny day with the wind blowing toward right field. The A's, who won yesterday 2-1, lead today 3-2, trying to go back to New York with a 2-game ball. The Mets, of course, trying to split. Back, ball is popped up straight in the air, foul territory. Garrett's over, shielding his eyes against that sun, glasses down, has it for the first out of the Oakland 5th. Bando pops out to Wayne Garrett in foul territory at third base. And that'll bring up Reggie Jackson, who in this game, Guzman dropped down on him with a 1-2 count through a high inside fastball. Jackson went down swinging in the first and then bounded a ball toward second base. It held and fielded right at the bag and swim out in the third. So Reggie is 0 for 5, but as Ralph has pointed out and the newspapers pointed out today, was Reggie Jackson's game-saving catch yesterday on the Grody drive to left field that preserved the 2-1 lead and consequently the 2-1 victory. Jackson, left-hander, led the American League in home runs with 32 and RBIs with 117 he can run. He outran Grody's ball yesterday. He has stolen 22 bases. They played Jackson slightly around to the right. Parker, the right-hander, throwing, and the ball skips by Grody and rolls to the seats. Neudecker, or rather Donatelli, puts the new ball in play. 1 ball to Reggie Jackson. Augie Donatelli, the National League, behind the plate today. When we opened before all of those frantic fans in New York on Tuesday night, an American League umpire, Jerry Neudecker, will be behind the plate. There's a called strike to Jackson. 1 ball, 1 strike. Neudecker in his first World Series will be umpiring, keeping the game together at Shea Stadium in New York with the Mets back home. Parker ready, takes something off this pitch, stays outside. It's 2-1 to Jackson. 1 out on the 5th. Dean Tennant, last year's World Series hero, who has walked twice in this game today, stands on deck. Parker ready and throws again, and a drive toward right field. On comes Staub, and it is knocking off his chest. It's a clean single as he tried to short hop it. The ball bounced up and off Staub, but was kept in front of him, and so Jackson, who has speed, could not go for second. Parker gives up his first hit. That's the 7th hit for the A's, and brings up Tennant, who works the starter Kuzman to a 3-2 count in the first and walked, and then to a 3-2 count in the third and walked, and later was the victim of the rundown as he tried to score on a squeeze bunt by Dick Green that didn't work out. Tanner swings, grounds it towards Garrett at third. Garrett goes to beyond at second, beyond back to first base, quick double play. And that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. We've gone through 5 full innings. The A's lead the Mets 3-2.
We're going out of the top of the 6th inning. They're manicuring the field here in Oakland. And in the ball game, the A's have been doing the hitting. They have the most runs, but the Mets still in the ball game in spite of only 3 base hits. 2 home runs. And as we go to the 6th inning, the A's leading by a score of 3-2. Once again, here's Jim Simpson.
Rusty Staub playing in his first World Series game up for the 3rd time. Staub, I'm sure you know by now, bothered by that near shoulder separation. Suffered in the final game, or the next to the last game, rather, the Nationals playoffs up in New York when he crashed into the right field wall. Well, Staub took a couple of swings yesterday. Decided not to play. The doctor said he could play today. He is in there. But both times, might be pitching, might be a shoulder. Both times he had hit the other way. He has sent a slow roller toward shortstop to Campaneris, and he lifted a soft high fly into left field that Rudy had trouble with the sun on that made the catch in short left field. So Staub, a left-handed batter, has hit both the other way. Lighter blue, ready to throw, and throws him a fastball, and Rusty fouls it to the screen. Strike 1. On deck is Cleon Jones, who's had a perfect afternoon. A home run and a sinking line drive single to center field. Blue ready, swing and a miss by Stop. We'll give you some final National Football League scores. Denver 48, Houston 20. New Orleans up to 13. Philadelphia upset St. Louis 27-24. Green Bay and Kansas City tied 10 apiece. Up high to start with the fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Other finals, Buffalo 31, Baltimore 13, and O.J. Simpson went well over 100 yards again. Vida Blue ready. Back with the fastball. Up high, but Stop swings and misses, and Blue has his 4th strikeout. That'll bring up Jones with that home run on the first pitch he saw from Blue in the 2nd inning, and then the sinking line drive single in the 4th. 2 for 2. Other National Football League finals, the New York Jets without Joe Namath or Al Woodall defeated New England 9-7. Cincinnati handed Pittsburgh its first loss. The Steelers lose 19-7. Atlanta murdered the Chicago Bears 46-6, and won the New York Giants 21-3. Leon Jones, right-hander, standing in. Mets down in this ball game by the score of 3-2. First pitch, a strike at the knees. Some partial scores. How about this? Third quarter, Los Angeles undefeated Rams 34, the Dallas Cowboys 14. Minnesota 14, San Francisco 6 third quarter, San Diego 10, Oakland 6 third quarter. Blue ready, the 1-strike pitch outside with the fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, as yesterday, so it is done today. When we came on the air, the smog was so bad you couldn't even see the hills beyond center field, but now it's beginning to clear a little bit. Jones strikes out at a high fastball. Hold it, beg your pardon. Check the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leon walks away. And now steps back in. On deck is John Milner. In this 3-2 ball game. Mets need to get something going. Blue throws a fastball a little high. When I say it needs to get something going, aside from the home runs by Jones and Wayne Garrett, Jones has been on with a single, Garrett with a walk, and that's been it. And the only 2 base runners aside from the home run hitters. This pitch misses off the corner of the plate. That is 3-2 to Jones. Well, I thought Cleon had struck out 1 time, and the crowd has thought so the last 2 times. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They play Jones to hit the other way. Line drive hitters. Home run was the other way. Foul to the screen. Mounds back to Fosse. Donatelli takes a look at the ball and keeps it in play. About 4,000 empty seats here yesterday afternoon. Only a few, if any, this afternoon. For Game 2 of the World Series. Blue right back, and there's a drive off to the right. Foul. Gets up into the mezzanine. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Count remains to Cleon Jones. Breeze begins to pick up, blowing toward right field from left to right as Vida Blue is wind up, and the pitch is high inside, and Jones draws the walk. And here comes John Milner. Well, you keep waiting for Milner. 23 home runs, the all-time high for left-handed New York Mets batter during the regular season. He is grounded out and lined out here. Milner, a long ball hitter, left-hander against the left-hander Vida Blue. Darrell Knowles and Horatio Pena are up and throwing again in the Oakland bullpen. Blue ready. Fastball is inside. Fosse walks out to the grass now. Flips the ball back to Blue, yelling something at him. Pena and Knowles working rather hurriedly now, even though they've been up and throwing before. In the playoff games with a 4-0 lead, Vida Blue did not get past the 7th inning. He worked 6 1/3 innings, and Baltimore caught up to him and knocked him out. Back with a breaking pitch inside. We pause 30 seconds for station identification. With Ralph Kiner, Jim Simpson back at Oakland. We're in the sixth with one out. Wes Stock, the pitching coach, has just had a few words with Vida Blue. There's a 2-0 count to John Milner, and this is fouled off into the on-deck circle. Jones on at first base. We said at the outset that a lot of people, Vida Blue's closest friends, are looking for Vida to win the first big one. He has never won in a playoff or in a World Series, and that's what they need to mature as a pitcher. All those victories during the regular season are great for Vida Blue, but he would like to win one in a World Series. Ball is hit out into short, right center field. Jackson charging on, a Lou over, drops in front of Jackson. On the way to third base goes Jones, and the throw goes to third base, not in time. Runners at the corners. The tying runners at third base with one out, and Grody coming up.
Jackson made a very good decoy. He came up on that ball knowing he could not catch it, but he made a decoy like he would be able to catch it. It slowed Jones for a while. And then he did see that the ball was going to drop in. He used his good speed and went over to third.
Well, Jones at third base. He scores. You've got a tie ball game, 3-3. Fossey looking around. Weststock has been out. Nobody's out of the dugout yet as Grody prepares to step in. Grody popped out, swinging at the first pitch of the second, and reached on Bando's arrow when he booted the ball in the fourth. And now here comes Dick Williams, which means that they're not going to allow the left-handed Blue, and Vida turns his back for the moment as Williams is making a very slow walk for the pitcher's mound, which means that Vida Blue apparently is going to be out of the ball game. And with Grody up, you would imagine that Pena, the side-arming right-hander, would come on to do the pitching to Grody. So Vida Blue may win this ball game because he has worked enough innings. But apparently he is not going to be around for the result. Williams talking has not yet made a decision, at least one that he has announced toward the bullpen. But now Donatelli walks out and says, "What is it?" Vida Blue has walked off the mound. He is not waiting for Pena to come in. He's just walking off of there, carrying his glove, head down, and gets mixed reaction from the crowd as Pena runs on.
As Jim was pointing out at the start of the ball game, the Oakland Ball Club, not noted for being a harmonious team. They have a lot of individuals, and they have a lot of people going their separate ways. And as has been pointed out in various articles here in this area, that this team, if they ever got to be a harmonious ball club, might not be able to win. Blue leaving the mound and not waiting for the pitcher to come into the ball game before leaving. That could mean one of two things. He just wants to get out of the limelight here and get inside, or whatever you might expect otherwise. Pena is a sidearm right-hander and should be very difficult on a right-hand batter, especially the first time that you have seen him. Very difficult for a right-hand batter to pick up a ball that's thrown from an unusual place, and he comes way down around his knees as he throws to the plate.
Grody watching Pena complete his warm-up. At third base, Jones. At first base, Milner. Milner's just now walking out, and now Jones is also out of sight. Pena, of course, is with the Texas Rangers, and before that, when the Rangers were known as the Washington Senators, he has also pitched for Cleveland. 5 major league seasons behind him. Now Jones had gone all the way back to the dugout, perhaps for a drink of water, is walking slowly out toward third base. It is a very sunny day here, although not hot, but Jones and Milner both took the opportunity when Williams changed pitches to get out of the sunlight and get into the dugout for just a moment. Oakland leading here with one out in the score 3-2. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at the first base, and Grody the batter. 0 for 2. Vida Blue works 6. Makes that 5 in the third inning. Gave up 2 earned runs so far. He is chargeable for both Jones and Milner. 4 base hits, struck out 4, and walked 1 man, and that was Jones in this inning. They're looking for the double play. In at the corners and a double play depth at short and second. Grody, the right-hander, gets Pena, who throws and hits him. Hits him on the hand. Donatelli had already signaled go to first base, and Grody was saying, "Hey, it hit me." And Donatelli was saying, "I know that. It hit you on the hand." So now the bases are loaded. On the first pitch, Pena, whose sidearm's in there, came too far inside to the right-handed Grody.
Grody was hit on the arm earlier this year and had his arm broken and missed 60 days of the season. He was hit by Hernandez of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and that is the same arm that was broken earlier this year.
Well, the New York Mets lost the first game yesterday 2-1 on 2 unearned runs. Today they're down 3-2, but now they have the bases loaded. Their first real threat of the ball game. They're only down by a run, and Don Hahn coming up. Hahn 0 for 2. He is grounded to Tennis at first base and sent a looping line drive into short right field that Alou hauled in. Harrelson steps in on deck. Hahn can fly. He can run. Infield still, of course, looking for the double play. Bases loaded. Hahn still outside the batter's box. Pena standing on the mound. Now Hahn steps in. Pena looks over to third. Now looks into his catcher, Ray Foster. Now Hahn steps out. Fossey directs his outfield, which has Hahn swung around to the right to the opposite field. Big gap between Jackson and center and Rudy in left. Blue Moon Oldham has begun to throw now. Right-hander has joined Knowles. There's a ground ball toward third base. Can't get it, everybody safe. The game is tied. A slow ground ball. Mando, I doubt, could have made a play anywhere had he been able to pick it up. Jones scores, and it's 3-3. And the bases remain loaded. And that'll bring up Bud Harrelson.
Shortstop, Harrelson.
That's the 5th hit for the Oakland A's. For the New York Mets. Eddie Yost, the Mets coach, comes in, says something to Harrelson. The pitcher is on deck, of course. McGraw has started to throw now in the Mets bullpen. Yogi Berra showing a willingness today to go even deeper in his bullpen, and obviously he will pinch hit for his pitches. Bases loaded. They're still looking for the double play. This one is fouled off to the left by Harrelson. Strike one. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Oakland. 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 of those home runs, 1 error for New York. Knowles and Odom in the bullpen for the Oakland A's. He is taking a lot of time on the mound. Van for New York. Knowles and Odom in the bullpen for the Oakland A's. He is taking a lot of time on the mound. Bando and Tennis in at the corners. Bando on the edge of the grass at third base. Milder's the base runner there with him. Leading down the line. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Harrelson. Oakland got 2 in the first. New York came back with a Jones home run in the second. Oakland got another in the third. Garrett homered in the New York third to make it 3-2, and now they've tied it up here in the 6th inning. Pena taking a lot of time. Ready, sidearms it, drive to right field, that is a base hit. On comes Miller, the Mets go in front. Bases remain loaded as Alou throws in. And Tennis cuts it off. And Mets have scored twice here in the 6th inning. Pena has come on and hit Brody. Hahn got an infield base hit up the third base line, and now Harrelson singles in Milner. The Mets take the lead for the first time in this World Series.
Both those runs go against the record of Vida Blue, so he is now the pitcher of record on the losing side of this ball game.
There is still 1 out. Garrett is on deck. We're missing someone, of course, because the pitcher is expected to bat. Donatelli is looking into the dugout to Yogi Berra saying, hey, where is your on-deck batter? Where's your batter coming up?
Also, Reggie Jackson, the center fielder, has moved into the dugout area to pick out some sunglasses as the sun moves over towards center field.
Coming out on deck is Ed Cranepool, swinging a bat. He was the replacement for Rusty Staub in the playoffs for the first time up in New York, singled in 2 runs. Jackson now returns to center field. Cranepool came up as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning yesterday, swung at the first pitch he saw there also, and lined one to Campanella at the shortstop. Now with Craneville announced, Dick Williams is out. I would imagine that would bring Knowles in and maybe send Craneville out again. It's 4-3. Dick Williams coming out, Knowles racing onto the mound. Senior, by no stretch of the imagination, did a good job. He came in with runners at first and third at 1 out. He hit Brody and gave up 2 base hits. That leaves with the bases loaded. But all runs, as Ralph said, charged to Vida Blue. His record is now complete. 4 earned runs, 4 base hits, struck out 4, walked 1.
Darrell Knowles worked in yesterday's ball game. He worked 2/3 of an inning. He got Beecham on a soft line drive, a fine play in the ball by Dick Green, the second baseman, and then got the final out of the game when Wayne Garrett hit a fly ball to right field. In the course of the season, Knowles had a 3.09 earned run average. He had a record of 6 wins and 8 losses. He appeared in 52 ball games, and he had 9 saves, and he also had 1 shutout. Darrell Knowles was in the National League. And Jim Beecham, I believe, has hit against him. And Jim Beecham is now replacing Eddie Craneville as George Stone goes out to the bullpen area. Left-hand pitcher for the New York Mets. So Beecham, who was a pinch hitter against Knowles in the first ball game, will now see him again.
Brody, who had taken a breathe in the dugout, now races back to third base. Hahn is the runner at second base. Harrelson is on at first base, and here comes Beecham. The base Darrell Knowles, who a year ago had his hand in the cast and could not play in the World Series in which the Oakland A's took the Cincinnati Reds for their World Championship. Bases are loaded. 2 runs are in this, the New York 6th inning. Knowles, 31 years old, earned run average of 3.04 this year, 9 saves, and a 1-loss record of 6-8. Peering in. Ready to throw to Beecham, who fouls it out of play. Strike 1. Well, the record against Vida Blue will show he was 0-1 last year, did not win in the playoffs, did not win in the playoffs this year. Had a chance to go out at least a winner, but Pena didn't get the job done, so he's lost that chance and could lose this game. Knowles back and throws a breaking pitch. Knowles has it. Right back to Knowles at 5. Knowles throws the ball away and 2-run scores as nobody gets up to cover home plate after the pitcher fell down. The ball is going by Fossey. Knowles fell down and nobody reacted to cover home plate, and so not 1 but 2-run scores. The 5th and 6th. And runners are now at second and third. Darrell Knowles had a lot of time to make the play, and they very easily could have had a double play on the throw of the plate and then a throw on the first base. But he hurried the throw, and as he was throwing the ball, he was falling down from lack of balance, and he threw it down in the dirt, and Fossey couldn't stop it. Then Knowles, thrown on the ground, lying there with no one covering home plate, and so 2 runs scoring. And the score is now 6-3 as the Mets have come up with 4 runs. And the defense that was so good yesterday for Oakland has hurt them. Garrett up, drives one foul down the left field line into the bullpen. Blue Moon Odom stands with his hands on his hips after the sudden change of events. With the exception of the Jones home run in the second, the Garrett home run in the third, as we had pointed out. Jones had reached on a single in the fourth. Garrett had walked in the fifth, and that had been all of the base runners. But now, with 1 out after Staub struck out, the roof has fallen in. Knowles misses outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jones walked. Milner got a base hit. That was all for Vida Blue. Pena came on. Hit Brody. Gave up singles to Hahn and Harrelson. That was all for Pena. Knowles came on. Got the ball hit right back to him. Looked like a sure double play. Threw it away. They could have been out of the inning. And 2 more runs scored. Garrett with a count of 1-1. Knowles to work. Breaking pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There is still but 1 out. Staub, who led off by striking out. Garrett is the 8th man up in this New York 6th. And beyond, the 9th man stands on deck. Infield still looking for the double play. First base is up. They're pitching very carefully here, and that's the strike. To Garrett, he now must turn and walk away. Well, the 2 outs have been strikeouts. Knowles has pitched very well. He just hasn't fielded very well. He got Beecham to hit right back to him. He struck out Garrett. And here's beyond. 2 out now.
Interesting right here to see whether or not they'll pitch to Meehan with Rusty Staub, a left-hand batter, on deck.
And Rusty's not been swinging the bat that well after his injury. Now Meehan, the right-hander, who steps in with that familiar crouch, choking about halfway up on the bat, it looks like. Not quite that much. Finds Harrelson at third, Beecham down at second. Knowles to throw, too low. Ball 1. For Beecham to reach first, scored as a fielder's choice and then a throwing error. Knowles right back with the fastball outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Leon. Odom continues to throw in the Oakland bullpen. Mets lead this one 6-3. We are in the 6th. The Mets would love to go back to New York to their friendly fans with no worse than an even split here on the road in the first 2 games of the World Series. In under the hands, Fossey has to go inside to get the pitch, and it's 3-0. Now they throw him beyond 2 pitches outside, then a breaking ball in under the hands, pitching very carefully to him with Staub on deck. And now they're just going to put him on. At the count of 3-0, they're going to walk him intensely to get to Staub. Rusty started this inning. As we told you at that time, he has gone the other way in the first and fourth, grounding to short and flying to short left, and then struck out, half swinging at a high fastball to start this inning. He is 0 for 3 in World Series play. Now we have Harrelson at third, Beecham at second, but Meehan is on at first. Knowles throws inside to Staub. Fastball misses. 1-0. The fans were in a gala mood here this Sunday afternoon because the Oakland A's had led all the way. Never been behind in the 1973 World Series until this inning. And now they're behind, missing outside the Staub. It is 2-0. There's no place to put Rusty. Walk him, and it's 7-3. Knowles peering in for the sign from Fossey. Ready to throw. Throws. That's the strike at the knee. Staub didn't think so, but Donatelli, the home plate umpire, says it is so. 2 balls, 1 strike. Staub pounds the plate with his bat and now steps out. Rusty ready. Knowles looking in. Throws. Ball is fouled off to the left into the seat. 2-2 to Staub. New York Mets lost the first game of the 1969 World Series, then came back to win 4 in a row. They lost their first on the road, won their second on the road, and then went back home. Sound familiar? They lost the first yesterday. They're winning this one. Drive out to right center field. Jackson comes over. Alou is there. Jackson takes it. 10 men go to bat. 4-run score. On 3 base hits, a couple of walks to a fielder's choice. And the bases are left loaded. We go to the last of the 6th. It's 6-3 New York.
3-time Will have their 8th relief pitcher, Tug McGraw, starting to warm up. Tug appeared in 60 ball games in the season. He won 5 and lost 6. He had 25 saves with an earned run average of 3.86. But the ERA, a very deceiving ERA. He was up over 6 in the first part of the season and then turned around and has pitched superbly. In his last 16 games in the regular season, he had 11 saves and 4 wins. Tug McGraw, who worked 2 innings in yesterday's ball game, giving up 1 hit, a bunt base hit by Campy Campaneris, is back in here in the second game of this best of 4 out of 7. That's leading by a score of 6-3. And here as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Jim Simpson.
Yogi Berra has gone to his 4th pitcher in selecting McGraw, but he's the man who helped in a great extent to get the Mets to the World Series. Comes on with a 3-run lead at 6-3. Alou, who is 2 for 2 today, hit the first pitch of the first inning that he saw and doubled to left just over the bag, and then with a 1-0 count on the 3rd, single to right. Alou is just that kind of hitter. Does not hit for too much power, but he'll hit it to all field. Leading off the sixth inning to be followed by Fossey and Green. The A's down in the World Series for the first time. They trail by 3. They play Alou absolutely straight away. Hahn is on a direct line with home plate. Change on the first pitch, looked like the McGraw screwball. And Alou swung and missed. McGraw threw screwballs yesterday, but a lot of fastballs. Breaking pitch, Garrett has it by third base, throws on to first base, and Alou is an easy out. 1 out, and that'll bring up Foster. Parker worked only the 5th inning, got Vandal to foul out. Jackson singled, but was erased on an inning-ending double play started by Gene Tennis, rounding to Garrett at third. That's his 1-inning mark. Fossey was walked intensely, reached on a throwing error by Kuzman in the 3rd. Down ball, toward beyond, backhands it near second base, throws on the turn and has it. Going off balance, beyond makes a fine play. 2 out. And now we see Angel Manguel coming on to bat for Dick Green. Manguel hit .224 during the regular season. He is not necessarily a home run hitter. Again, a man that can swing the bat pretty good. Last year, remember, the Oakland A's changed second baseman almost every time you looked up. They would start one, and he would never come to bat. They'd switch to another. Kubiak most likely will come in to play second base. There's a strike. Green was up in the 1st and 3rd innings with the bases loaded and struck out each time. So Manguel has come on now. Darren Johnson is out on deck. Pitch just misses inside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Dick Williams here in the 6th, when he gets down to the 8 and 9 batters, is going to his bench. McGraw ready. The left-hander throws, foul. Darren Johnson was the designated hitter of note for the Oakland A's all year long. Got off to a tremendous start, hurt his thumb, and was not that good over the closing stretch. But, of course, in the World Series, as we have explained, there is no designated hitter. But Johnson will come up nearly as such. As pitch hitter. Line drive down the line in left field. May stay fair. It is fair. Don't be called a foul. Looks to me to be fair. But down the left field line is Harry Wendelstedt of the National League, and the fans down there are giving him the what for. He was there, and I'm here. Well, it was certainly close, and Harry Wendelstedt, the left field umpire, was right on top of the play. And what might back up his decision is the fact that Herb Norton, the third base coach for the Oakland Ball Club, did not protest the decision. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Manguel. McGraw ready. And throws and strikes out Manguel swinging, and that's the end of the inning. McGraw gets the job done. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. We've gone through 6 full innings, and the New York Mets lead the Oakland A's 6-3.
It's the top of the 7th. The sun shining brightly here in Oakland, and also shining brightly for the Mets fans who are in the stands here today and who are listening back in the areas around the world. And Leon Jones will lead off for the Mets. Once again, here's Jim Simpson.
Speaking of that, Ralph Connor, we do want to say to all of those listening on American Forces Radio overseas, wherever you are, in Europe, South America, and of course in the Far East on FEN, and in Japan on FEN. Leon Jones, perfect day. Home runs to right field in the 2nd. Sinking line drive single in the 4th, and his walk with 1 out started that 4-run 6th inning. Ted Kubiak is the second baseman with Green batted for. Down ball, Bando, third base, has plenty of time, and that's the first time they've retired Leon Jones today. Swinging on the first pitch.
First baseman.
John Milner grounded out in the 2nd. Line to Alou and right in the 4th, and singled and scored in the 6th. Six runs on 6 hits for the New York Mets. That's strike 1 to Milner. Knowles ready to throw. Left-hander again throws. It's too low. Blue gave up 4 of the 6 hits and all 4 runs. Pena gave up the other 2. Knowles made an error that was really costly when he threw wild to home plate with the bases loaded and 1 out. Down low again to John Milner. 2 balls, 1 strike. On deck is Jerry Grody. And the crowd here in Oakland, as it was yesterday throughout most of the game in which their team led, very quiet at the moment. Their team is down and the Mets are at bat. Outside, missing is Knowles, and it's 3-1. Nobody at Lou Munodum was throwing as that 10-man 6th inning wound up. Knowles on 3-1. There's check swing, and it hit Fossey, who is now limping around. The ball goes into fair territory, but it's foul, of course. Donatelli lifts over the ball while Fossey limps around. Looks like it might have hit him on the right foot. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Milner. Shadows beginning to creep in here from behind home plate and moving out toward home plate. But both the pitcher and the catcher and batter are well within the sunlit area at this moment. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Knowles ready to throw again. Throws him a fastball. Fouled off toward the on-deck circle where Grody picks it up. Still 3-2. 1 out in the New York 7th. They're leading by 3. Oakland won yesterday's ball game 2-1 and leading all the way until the 6th inning of today's ball game. And then the Mets came alive. Knowles ready. On 3 throws, ground ball foul past first base between Tennis, the first baseman, and Roy McMillan, the coach at first base. Retrieved out in the bullpen by Duffy Dyer, one of the Mets catchers. Knowles ready to throw again. Comes back with a fastball that misses high and away, and Milner draws a walk. Knowles has walked his second man. His other walk to Neon in the 6th inning was intentional after he reached the 3-0 count. That'll bring up Grody. Popped out, reached on an error, and on the first pitch that Pena threw in relief of the start of Ida Blue, he hit Grody. Grody had a fine finish of the season swinging the bat. Closed very fast, hitting over 300 from August 3rd on. Down low from Knowles. Ball 1. On deck, Don Hahn. Some of the players, including Rusty Staub, will go on to New York tonight so they can take special batting practice. The other teams will leave tomorrow, use tomorrow as a travel day, bed down in New York tomorrow night. And then we'll resume on Tuesday night at Shea Stadium. 3 night games if necessary. There goes the runner. Ground ball pass down to third base. Milner on his way around second, play in front of him. Rudy makes no play to third base. The runner's at the corner. Brody singles as Milner was off and running with the pitch. 7th hit for the Mets. The first off Darrell Knowles. And with 1 out, Milner at third, Brody at first, and Hahn the batter. Hahn hit a little slow roller up the third base line in the 6th inning, the last inning. Bando came on, couldn't field it, scored as a base hit. Drove in a run. 6-3, the Mets threatening again. Knowles now pitching from a stretch, throws too low to Don Hahn, ball 1. Bud Harrelson is on deck. Knowles now makes a move to first base, but Grody wasn't more than a step off of first base. Well, you can't help but think of the quietness of the Oakland Coliseum. You just know that when they hit New York, it will not be that quiet. No matter who's winning, who's losing, the Mets crowd will be out there and roaring. Swing and a miss by Hahn. 1 ball, 1 strike. New York is up by 3 runs, getting 4 in the 6th inning. They play Hahn shaded around the right. Knowles taking a lot of time out there. Now throws and fouled off screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out. We're in the 7th. And you know the pitching matchup when this World Series does go on in New York, Tom Seaver will be going for the New York Mets, and Jim Catfish Hunter, author of that masterpiece to clinch the American League pennant in the 5th game of the American League Championship, will go for the A's. Knowles throws again down low, blocked by Foxy. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wild pitch here could mean another run. Now we've got a couple of men throwing in the bullpen. Odom is down there, and it looks like Lindblad might be the other, the left-hander. 2-2, and he threw him a breaking pitch and struck out Don Hahn. Knowles gets his second strikeout. 2 out now, still with Milner over third and Grody on at first, and that'll bring up Harrelson. Harrelson drove in a run in the 6th inning. After Hahn, little roller up the third baseline, scored Jones to tie the game. It was Harrelson who came on, and with a line drive single to right, scored Milner with a go-ahead run. Harrelson, switch hitter. Was batting left-handed when he got his RBI single. There's a strike on the outside corner. Now it's back to the right side again against the left-hander Knowles. Doug McGraw standing on deck with 2 outs, taking his jacket off at the moment. Ball game is in his hands. Down low, but Harrelson goes for it. Swinging strike. 0-2. Milner just a step or 2 down the line from third base. Grody very close to first base. As Ralph has pointed out, the Mets do not run a lot, although Milner was off and running on the single by Grody. There's the ball. Late left field. Rudy goes over there near the warning track, puts up one hand and makes the catch. He was battling the sun then, too. And also battling the fact that Harrelson got around on an old pitch and pulled it deep. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the last of the 7th at 6-3, New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, the football scores in the 4th quarter. Minnesota 14, San Francisco 13. Also in the 4th quarter.
Doug McGraw getting set to go as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. The pinch hitter for the Oakland A's, and here for the play-by-play, Jim Simpson. Billy Canigliaro, the younger brother of Tony Canigliaro, who is thinking of coming out of retirement and trying to make it again as a designated hitter. Billy hit 200 during the regular season. Batting for the pitcher, Darrell Knowles, to lead off the 7th. And you probably heard at the end of the Mets 7th, as the home half of this 7th started, everybody started screaming, "Let's go A's," as the A's fans came alive out here in Oakland. Canigliaro, right-handed batter, facing the left-handed Doug McGraw, gets the through ball and swings and misses. Strike 1. McGraw says he doesn't like to come in and throw that through ball. Everybody knows that's his pitch. So I like to change around a little bit, but after all, if it is your good pitch, you go to it often. But he's got a pretty good fastball. Now changes, and the ball is grounded toward Mian at second base. It goes on to first base, and there's 1 out in the Oakland 7th of this 6-3 ball game. That'll bring up Campanera, who has tripled and scored in 3 trips. Knowles worked an inning and 2/3. Charged with no runs, 1 hit, struck out 2, and walked 2. Garrett in on the grass at third base, knowing that Campanera would like to get on base. That's the strike to him, called at the knee. Milner off on the infield side of first base. Another strike right down the middle. Fastball. Campanera, when he hit that triple to right center field, that was a stand-up triple. He really moved around those bases. McGraw back, and look out, that was right at Campanera's head. And I believe it hit him, and everybody is coming out as the batting helmet went off. Camp is there. He was hit in the head, but not on the side of the head. It looked like a glancing blow that just took the helmet off. Dick Williams came out and actually began to brush the dust off Campy Campanera. He's an important part of this team.
Campy goes for his hat and is going toward first base. Williams and the trainer still walking with him, and now he'll try to hit him and get an ovation from the crowd. That pitch simply stayed inside, head high, and hit Campanella. Glancing blow off the helmet. And McGraw a little upset with himself. He was way out in front of Campaneris with an 0-2 count. And then hit him. Here's Joe Rudy. 6-3 the score. Rudy has a couple of hits today. A double that Jones lost in the sun at the wall. And a single against the drawn-up infield. 2 for 3 and scored a run. And has driven in a run. He drove in the winning run yesterday and he's driven in a run today. Rudy with power. And out in left field behind the fence out there is a yellow sign that calls himself Rudy's Rooters. And it says, Go Joe. That's what they're looking for now. Mets up by 3 with the ace Tug McGraw on the mound, and Campaneris on base with 1 out. Changes, stays high inside. Ball 1. Rudy looks down to Herb Noy, the coach of third base. Now Blue Moon Odom is up and throwing again. He'll be our next pitcher. Knowles was batted for in this inning. They play Rudy straight away. And deep. McGraw ready. Changes on this one. Rudy almost went around, but did not. It's 2-0. On deck is Sal Bando with 29 home runs during the regular season. Big inning for McGraw. If he can get through Rudy and Bando, he will have done quite a job, because that would mean that Jackson would have to lead off in the 8th. You don't mind pitching to Reggie with no men on. McGraw from the set throws outside and high. It's 3-0 to Rudy. Walks Joe Rudy. Sal Bando would walk to the plate as the tying run. Rudy again looks down to see whether or not he can swing on 3-0. Herb Norton has told him. They need base runners. Rudy steps back in. McGraw ready. Rudy is not swinging, and the pitch misses on 4 pitches after hitting Campaneris. Rudy is walked. George Stone, with that walk, has gotten up and started to throw. And out comes Rube Walker, the pitching coach, to talk to his ace, Tug McGraw. Stone, a left-hander, has just begun to throw. Blue Moon Odom down on the Oakland bullpen, standing there, hands on hit. Walker now trots back toward the Mets dugout. McGraw will do the pitching to Sal Bando, who has tripled, struck out, and fouled out. But with runners at first and second and in a 6-3 ball game and 1 out, Bando, a home run hitter, is the tying run as he steps to the plate. Right-handed Bando against the left-handed McGraw. McGraw throws it. A breaking pitch outside. Tug's control since he was 0-2 to Campaneris has not been good. He hits Campaneris on the head and then walked Rudy on 4 pitches. Now he starts out Bando with the pitch out and away. Campaneris dancing around off second base. McGraw back and ready and pulls the string. Bando swings and misses. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bando quickly steps back in. Leon attempting to decoy Campaneris back to second base. Keep him close. 6-3, New York leads. We're in the last of the 7th. Pitch just misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Sal Bando. 97 RBIs on the year, 29 home runs. Leon now runs again over to second base. Campaneris off. McGraw throws. Foul back toward us. It's 2-2. 1 out. McGraw working rather hurriedly, looking into Grody for the sign. Stone continues to throw in the Mets bullpen. From the stretch, and Campaneris towards third base. He's stolen third base. Bando was called out on strikes as Campaneris was going to third base.
Usually,
wonder why the runner did not go down to second base behind him, but in this case it was a good break for Oakland because Brody was all set to throw to second base to pick up the runner if he had gone there, and he had a real good shot at him. But Rudy did not run, and now runners at first and third with 2 men out.
6-3 the score. And here comes Reggie Jackson, who got his first hit of the series the last time up. Struck out in the first, grounded out in the third, and singled in the fifth. And was a race on a double play. Well, here's the American League's answer to all that National League power. Reggie Jackson, 32 home runs, led the league, 117 RBI. Has not figured in any scoring for the A's in the series thus far. He stopped with a magnificent catch from scoring of the Mets yesterday. Drives it right field, level score Campanella. Around second to third is Rudy. Down to second base goes Jackson, and he's in. It's 6-4. Campanella, who was hit by a pitch, went to second on the walk and stole third. Comes in on the Reggie Jackson single. And Rudy digs to third. With first base open, Tennis is up. There are still 2 outs. Jackson looks to have a routine single, but legged it into a double, diving head first into second base. McGraw throws. It's a strike at the knees to Gene Tennis, who walked his first 2 times up today and bounced into a double play in the fifth. 6-4. We are in the seventh. The A's fight back against Kurt McGraw, who throws and a swing and a miss by Tennis. And it's quickly 2 strikes to the hero of last year's World Series with 9 RBI. Buzz Capra has joined. There's a foul off to the left. It'll be picked up by Garrett, the third baseman. Buzz Capra has joined George Stone in the Mets bullpen. Odom, realizing that he is the next pitcher for the A's, continues to warn. 0-2 the count to Tennis. Rudy at third, Jackson at second. Foul, out of play, upstairs behind home plate. Well, yesterday we went through a 2-1 ball game in which the 2 runs Oakland got were unearned. Today it's been a scoring ball game, and it's 6-4. McGraw 0-2 throwing. It's too low. Foul tip. Tennis was trouble of that pitch, which was low, not on the strike zone at all, and the foul tip at the plate. Still 0-2. McGraw has stepped off, now steps back on. McGraw ready to throw, and there's a ground ball foul. Changed on that pitch, and Tennis is way out in front of it. A ball girl in left field committed an error. Went right through it. And then she did a little curtsy to the bullpen of the A's, who picked it up and threw it back to her. 0-2, 2 outs. Tying runs in scoring position, and he changed on him, struck him out swinging. Giving up the 1 run, McGraw gets out of it. 1 run on just 1 hit. No errors, a walk and a hit, Chapman, and 2 men left. At the end of 7, it's 6-4, New York.
Well, we have a new pitch in the ball game for Oakland. It's Blue Moon Odom, who had an earned run average of 4.49 in the overall season. He won 5 and lost 12. He appeared in 30 ball games. And as we go to the top of the 8th inning with the Mets leading by a score of 6-4, here's Jim.
Doug McGraw will lead it off. Up for the first time. Odom, a hard-throwing right-hander, did have a very disappointing season for the A's. So when you consider what they counted on Blue Moon to win and what he actually won, that's in large part offset by the 20-game seasons of Holtzman, Blue, and, of course, Catfish Hunter. Tuesday night's pitcher against Tom Seaver in New York. McGraw, the left-handed thrower, batting right-handed against right-handed Blue Moon Odom. And he takes a fastball right down the middle. Strike 1. The Mets lead by 2 in the late innings. We are in the 8th as they try to square this World Series at 1 game apiece. Back quickly, fouled at the plate by McGraw. Back to the screen. It bounces. 2 strikes. Leadoff Mets, who has a home run and a walk, standing on deck. Odom has gone right after McGraw, the opposing pitcher, and now fires a fastball, but it's too high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Odom last year lost his only World Series decision, but had a great earned run average of 2 appearances of 1.59. Ready and throws again. Fastball in the dirt, low and away. And it's 2-2. Odom has thrown McGraw 4 pitches. All have been fastballs. First 2 in the strike zone, the third high, and this one low and away in the dirt. Now ready to throw again, and throws him another fastball and strikes him out swinging. Well, the dive was steady. The 7th Mets to strike out. Vida Blue struck out 4, Knowles 2. With the score 3-1 in the 3rd, here's the first pitch to Garrett. That's look at the knee. And 2 out. Vida Blue got out in front of Garrett 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 out and nobody on. And gave him a good pitch, and Garrett pulled it deep into the right field seat. The strike 1 pitch. This is outside. Ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike to Garrett. With Felix Leon on deck. Garrett, like so many, wearing 2 batting gloves. Now there's a change on the curve, and he is way out in front of it. That's the first time in Odom's appearance today that he's thrown anything but a fastball. And Garrett was really looking for the fastball, and he had almost gone around by the time the ball arrived. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mets lead it by 2. We are in the Mets 8th. That's the top of the 8th inning. Fastball bounces in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the Shadows have almost reached home plate. Part of Augie Donatelli, the umpire, is in the shade. Odom ready. And throws outside. Well, when that shadow gets a little bit farther along, it's going to be awfully tough for the batters because they will be in the shade and the ball will be coming blazing in from that sunlight. And a lot of the batters don't like the hitting background here at Oakland anyway. They won't have that problem in New York. All of those games, the World Series, will be at night. Now a fastball lined foul off to the left into the seat. 3-2 with 1 out in the 8th. Oakland last year in the World Series, a much better winning team on the road than they were here in Oakland. Odom with the 3-2 pitch. Down ball, foul this time off the right side. Whereas we told you earlier in the ballgame that the New York Mets in their miracle year of 1969 lost the first in Baltimore, won the second behind Jerry Koosman, today's starting pitcher, and then went back home and took 3 more in a row to make it 4 in a row and a 5 Baltimore. The balls, 2 strikes. Odom throws and strikes it out with a fastball. Garrett goes down swinging, and Odom was struck out. McGraw and Garrett, the first 2 to face Blue Moon Odom. And up comes Leon, who was caught looking at a fastball that he didn't think was in the strike zone in the first inning. Bounced out in the 3rd, into a force play in the 5th, and was walked intentionally in the 6th. Leon committed the error yesterday that allowed the 2 unearned runs to score for Oakland as they took that ball game 2-1. Had committed only 9 errors all season long and committed the big one. Right-hander throws, took a little off that, changed, it's high, ball 1. Leon said, I simply did not get down to the ball. It just went right through my leg. Odom ready. Fastball misses too low, 2-0. One reporter wrote that Leon used his legs as a croquet wicket for the balls to go through. But he is a fine second baseman. 2-0. Odom comes back with the fastball, missing inside, and now it is 3-0 with Rusty Staub on deck in a 6-4 ball game, which the Mets lead. Infielders, Bando beginning to walk around. Very difficult on infielders when you throw a lot of pitches. They tend to sit back on their heels a little bit more. Now, there's a strike. Called, 3 balls, 1 strike. Leon taking. That ball was also on the outside corner. Leon thought the fastball he was called out on in the first inning was too far outside. This one was on the outside corner. Now he looks down to Yost to see, at 3-1, can I swing or do I take? Oldham ready. And throws, and he was swinging on the 3-1 count. Golfed out to the short center field where Jackson awaits it and puts it away. So Oldham has quite a inning, doesn't he? No runs, hits or errors, and nobody reached base. We go to the last of the 8th. The Mets lead the A's 6-4. Again from Oakland, California. This is Jim Simpson along with Ralph Kiner. We are in the Oakland 8th inning with Jesus Kalou will lead off. A double in the first, a single in the third, and they got him on a bounce to the Garrett in the 6th. He is 2 for 3. Mets lead it 6-4 as Kalou is the number 6 man in the batting order for the A's. He'll be followed by Fosse. High pitch from Tug McGraw, who was in trouble. Facing 6 men in the 7th, but giving up only 1 run. McGraw, the left-hander, throws, and off-speed pitch swung on and missed by Lou. 1 ball, 1 strike. For the first time in a long while, nobody's busy in any bullpen as Lou swings again at a change. 2 ball. McGraw noted for him. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and this is inside. McGraw came in out of the bullpen in New York in one of the playoff games, and the first man he faced, he struck out on 3 pitches, 3 through balls in a row. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Comes back and throws him a fastball outside, and he's gone to 3-2. McGraw's control has not been razor sharp today. Ground ball, swinging on a change and grounds it foul down toward the A's bullpen. Now, Lou is a very difficult man to walk. He's only walked twice in 108 times at bat. Likes to swing the bat. Swings here. 1 hopper to the ground ball, swinging on a change and grounds it foul down toward the A's bullpen. Now, Lou is a very difficult man to walk. He's only walked twice in 108 times at bat. Likes to swing the bat. Swings here. 1 hopper to be on at second base. Goes on to first base, and there's 1 out in the Oakland 8th. And that'll bring up Fosse. And that will bring out on deck Mike Andrews, who will bat for Kubiak and probably will remain in the game as the second baseman. Fosse was walked intentionally in the first, reached on an error in the third, and grounded out in the 6th. He's 0 for 2. 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for New York, 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Oakland. 2 ball misses, ball 1. McGraw right back, ground ball again toward Neon. 2 big hops, lots of time, throws on to Milner, and that's 2 outs. And that will bring up Mike Andrews. Andrews, who was with Dick Williams in 1967 when Boston made it all the way to the World Series, hit 201 this year. Only appeared in 53 games. Didn't hit the ball out at all. Had 10 RBIs. Six to 4, and Andrews up. 2 out in the 8th. The A's, barring something happening in a hurry here, will just have 1 more chance, or else it'll be all even Steven, a game apiece. And on to New York we go. McGraw trying to make that possible. Throws ground ball right back to McGraw. He's got all the time in the world, and on 3 easy ground balls, McGraw gets the 6, 7, 8 batters. No runs, hits, or errors, and none left. At the end of 8, it's the Mets who lead Oakland 6-4.
We're going now to the top of the ninth inning. Rusty Staub to lead off for the Mets. The Mets leading by a score of 6-4. And once again, here's Jim Simpson.
Staub has not had a good day, playing for the first time since his injury in the playoffs up in New York. He is 0 for 4. Grounded to the shortstop, fly to left, struck out swinging, and sent an easy fly to Jackson in center field. 0 for 4. Odom on the mound worked only the 8th inning before they struck out the first 2 men he faced and got beyond the fly to Jackson in center field. 6-4 the score. We've got another second baseman, of course. Kubiak is out of there, and Andrews is in. Foul away. Strike one. In the 9th inning, Odom is due up. Of course, Williams undoubtedly will go to the bench, and then will be Campaneris and Rudy, as the A's are down at the moment by 2. Staub, the left-hander, looks at the right-hander Odom, who throws him a pitch down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, I would assume with Staub going back tonight, taking batting practice tomorrow and a couple of extra days, he should be close to being 100% by the time the series resumes on Tuesday night in New York. Fastball, line drive, center field. He might be all right now. Base hit for Rusty Staub. First man to reach against Odom. And that's the 8th hit for the New York Mets. They're all even in hits now, but the Mets lead 6-4. And now Willie Mays is going out to run for Rusty Staub. So in the 9th inning, Mays probably will stay on and go into center field, and Hahn will switch over to right field. Mets out of the dugout to greet Staub. They like to see that. By the man who led them in RBIs and had 3 home runs in the playoffs before he was hurt. Leon Jones, home run in the 2nd, single in the 4th, walked in the 6th, and they finally got him on a ground ball to 3rd in the 7th. He is 2 for 3 and has scored twice and driven in 1. Mays lead off, and so they'll check him at first base. Willie gets back. 6-4 New York, top of the ninth. Odom ready, throws the fastball, popped up, right side. Tennis goes back. Andrews comes over. Tennis in foul territory, and now chases it down and has it for the first out. That's Milner. Milner grounded out, line to right, and then things got going for him. He singled to center and walked. And has scored a run. He is 1 for 3 in this game. Brody on deck. The A's fans just waiting for the last of the ninth. And the A's last chance to take a 2-0 in the World Series. The Mets will be thankful to have split on the road and go back home if they can do it. Again, Mays with that lead off at first base. He's not going. Ground ball, pass. Dennis, the first baseman. Mays falls down as he goes around second base. He wasn't on his way to third. Lou was in very short right field. So Milner now is 2 for 4 plus a walk. And Brody popped up, reached on him there, and hit by a pitch and single. Willie actually was falling before he got to second. Somehow maintained his balance. Didn't seem to stumble over the bag. Maintained his balance again and then slid and fell down. 1 out. Mays at second, Milner at first. Jackson wigwagging to a Lou over in right field. Where to play it now? Jackson stations himself more towards straightaway center field. Brody swings and misses. In final scores, Oakland defeated San Diego 27-17. Dallas came back, but not far enough. Los Angeles beat them 37-31 after leading 34-14 at one time. Minnesota defeated San Francisco 17-13 to remain undefeated. The Rams are also undefeated. The Steelers lost today. Odom throws a fastball. It's too low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brody. And now the shadows have moved well beyond home plate, and so Odom is standing out on the mound in the blazing sunlight, and Brody is in the shade at home plate. Jackson shielding his eyes out in center field. Fastball, and it's popped up. Playable. Third base side, Bando in foul territory has it. and 2 outs. Don Hahn will come up. Hahn is 1 for 4. His little slow roller up the third base line was a base hit in the 4-run 6th inning for New York. Drove in a run, and he later came on to score himself. Tom Seaver for the Mets. Jim Catfish Hunter for the A's. Tuesday night in New York. Game 3 of the World Series. Game time is 8 o'clock Eastern time. Odom Ruddy looking back at Mays, pitching from the stretch and throws a fastball too low. Ball 1. Oakland has given us some superb weather in which to play the first 2 games of this 1973 World Series. The sun has been out all day, every day, and the temperatures have been in the low 70s. Not hot, not chilly. Odom Ruddy comes back with another fastball. Grounded toward Campanella, swoops in, goes on to first base, and has him. So now, on no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the last of the ninth. Will be the number 9 batter, and then back to the top of the order. The A's are down from New York. Mets 6, A's 4.
Darren Johnson, a former National Leaguer, coming over to the American League from the Philadelphia Phillies, will be the pinch hitter to start off the bottom of the 9th inning. The Mets leading by a score of 6-4. Doug McGraw on the mound for the New York Mets. And as we go to that very important bottom of the 9th inning, here again is Jim Simpson.
Willie Mays went out to right field. Now, they didn't play that way at all yesterday. And then after warming up in right field, he got the switch away from the dugout to the Yogi Berra. So Mays goes into center field, where we're so used to seeing him. And Hahn does switch over to right field. But as they first took the field, Mays was in right, and Hahn had remained in center. Now, Darren Johnson, who did such a terrific job, then suffered a thumb injury, had no home runs or extra base hits since August the 27th to the end of the season, after getting off to a tremendous start. Now Dick Williams has come out and is talking to Augie Donatelli. Johnson hit 246, but more importantly, he had 19 home runs and 81 RBIs as a designated hitter. But he stacked up a lot of that in the early going. Dick Williams still talking. Donatelli, the home plate umpire. McGraw is going to take a couple of extra warm-up pitches here, while Williams and Donatelli conclude their discussion.
I think what it is, Jim, is that the Oakland Ball Club, the management has turned the lights on here, and the lights were not on when the Mets batted in the 9th, and I believe that Augie Donatelli wants the lights turned off.
Well, we'll look at the lights. Johnson stepping in. And now Donatelli tells him to step out. And Donatelli, hands on hips, walks away, so that's probably what it is. And now we know it is, because Robbie's turning around and pointing to the light. So they've got to get to someone somewhere to tell him to turn it off. Well, one bank goes out off to a right now. Now they're all out. As we said, the batter is in the shade. The pitcher is in the sunlight. Lights go out. We begin the last of the ninth. New York leads it 6-4. Strike. Dick Williams is to Charlie Finley behind the dugout. Apparently the owner has asked Williams what's going on. Line drive out toward center field. On comes Willie Mays. Falls down. Throws it fire. Willie Mays took a header. Falling down. Johnson stopped at second base. Never touched the ball. Mays, who fell down going around second base as a pitch runner, fell down as he got to that ball. Willie appeared to have some difficulty finding the ball out in the outfield. He broke 2 different ways, and then he fell down, and while falling down, he just missed trapping the ball. Now Darren Johnson is leaving the ball game. He gets credit for a pinch hit double. The tying run is at the plate. Alan Lewis comes in. He is the man from Panama who steals all those bases. At one time, he stole 116 bases in one season, believe it or not. Campanella comes on, and now, with the 6-4 ball game, nobody is out. And Alan Lewis is on at second base. Each team now has 9 hits. The New York Mets lead 6-4. Campanella steps in. He is tripled and been hit by a pitch and has scored twice. In 4 trips to the plate. Misses. Low. Ball 1 to Campaneris with Joe Rudy on deck. McGraw from the stretch, looking back at Alan Lewis. Comes in with the pitch up high. It's 2-0. Mets leading by 2. Milner and Garrett Dean at the corners. Leon and Helton deep at second and shortstop. Breaking pitch catches the inside corner. That's the strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. George Stone again for the Mets. McGraw in trouble, not entirely of his own making. That was a line drive that Mays fell out on. Well hit, but Mays looked like could have gotten it. There's call strike 2 to Campaneris. Oh, completely on that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Campy struck out swinging in the 4th. That was against Tedecki, another left-hander. Down low, it is 3-2. And the tension mounts, and the suspense continues here in the last of the ninth of Game 2 of the World Series. Oakland won yesterday. New York leads now 6-4. Campaneris steps out and takes a couple of practice swings. Now he's back in. McGraw steps to throw. Strikes him out, swinging. Campaneris goes down, and up comes Joe Rudy. And Brody walks out to talk to McGraw. Harrelson stops him for the conference. Rudy has home run power, had 12 on the year, but he was sick a lot. He really was, with mild intestinal problems that even had him hospitalized. So he had 12 home runs and 66 RBIs, not by any stretch of the imagination, playing a full season. And as Rudy prepares to step in, Sal Bando steps out on deck. 1 out now. Alan Lewis at second base. McGraw trying to save this game. Rudy is ready. McGraw is ready. Down low, blocked by Grody that hits the dirt. Ball 1. Oakland jumped off to a 2-0 lead. Home run made it 2-1. Oakland run made it 3-1. Garrett hit home run to make it 3-2. Then the Mets got 4 in the... Oakland got 1 in the last of the 7th, and here we are at 6-4. McGraw throws, swings, foul tip. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grody held onto the ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 man on. Garrett guarding the line very carefully at third base. They're willing to give Rudy the single if need be, but they don't want to give him a double and put him the tying run in scoring position. Back, ground ball right towards Garrett. He drops the ball. He picks it up. He throws on to first base and has him in plenty of time. Now, if Garrett had not been shading third base, guarding that line, possibly that ball might have gone by. But as it was right to it. Sharply hit ball. There's 2 out now, and the Mets are an out away from squaring the World Series at a game apiece. They lead by 2 runs. Sal Bando is at bat. He tripled in the first, driving in a run and scoring one himself, but since that time has struck out twice and fouled out to the third baseman. Parker would be the winner, Blue the loser. But it's not over yet. We're an out away, and Bando is at the plate and takes the pitch in under the chin for ball 1. Darren Johnson led over the double, and Willie Mays came over, apparently lost in the sun, and fell down and rolled to the wall. Alan Lewis replaced him. Simpson, Campaneris is struck out, and Rudy is grounded out. McGraw right back, fouled off to the right. Out of play in the seat. 1 ball, 1 strike. McGraw just waiting, standing there. Now goes into a stretch. George Stone continues to throw in the bullpen. Haynes on that and drops it right over the outside corner. That's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Mets are a strike away winning this World Series. McGraw comes back, change up way high and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bando with that closed stance and a lot of power. Does not grip the bat all the way down to the end, even though he is a power and pull hitter. McGraw back and throws and it's foul back toward us. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out. And the Mets leading by 2. This is the kind of drama you expect in a World Series game. And today we're getting it. Down low. It is 3-2. Well, we have gone to 3-2 with 2 out. Lewis lead off at second base. Bando waits for the McGraw pitch. He comes in changing. It's down low. He goes to first base and Reggie Jackson comes up. The tying runs are on. Jackson, the left-hander, singled in a run the last time up in the 7th inning. He struck out in the first, grounded out in the third, but since then has singled and doubled. I think I said singled in the 5th and doubled in the 7th. Jackson, we will repeat. The American League home run champion, the American League RBI champion, hit .293 during the regular season. Mets lead 6-4, 2 out, last of the 9th. Alan Lewis at second, Sal Bando on at first. The pitch to Reggie Jackson, strike. Off-speed pitch, right down the middle. On deck, hoping that he gets a chance to bat, is Dean Kenneth. Jackson slowly steps back in. McGraw seldom ever moves from that rubber. He just stands there until the batter is ready. Looks back towards second. Throws another off-speed pitch. Grounded into the field. Here comes Alan Lewis taking for home, and the tying run goes to third. It's 6-5 with 2 outs. Jackson gets his third straight hit, his second straight RBI. That ball just did get through under the outset gloves of both Milner and Neon. One of the types that you would say had eyes. And that'll bring up the right-handed Dean Kenneth, the hero of last year's World Series, with those 9 RBIs, 4 home runs, and a .348 batting average. He has not had a hit in this year's World Series. He is 0 for 5, plus a couple of walks. But the tying run with 2 out is at third base. McGraw, ready. Stone stops going to take a look at what's going on. McGraw throws. There, it's a tie ball game. They hit to left. Kenneth gets his first World Series hit at 73 and ties it up. Tom Oakland goes wild. And Jesus Salou comes up with Jackson, who can run down at second base as the winning run with 2 out in the last of the 9th. And now the Oakland bullpen gets busy because we may go to extra innings. Up the middle, right back to McGraw. He walks toward first, throws on there, and that's it. A little grounds out. But the 2-run score in the last of the 9th. After 2 men were out. 2 men are left at the end of the 9. It is 6-6. Well, that's out of the 10th inning. And we go to Ralph Kiner. All right. A tie ball game at 6-6. Oakland 6 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors. The Mets 6 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. And Wally Fingers, the new pitcher in the ball game for Oakland.
Fingers worked against the Mets in the first game. He worked 3 1/3 innings, gave up no runs, allowed 3 hits. He struck out 3. And he'll be pitching to Bud Harrelson as his first batter. Fifth pitcher used by Oakland. The Mets have used 4, and Bud Harrelson will lead off. Harrelson has had 1 hit and 4 times up. He drove 1 to deep left in the 7th inning with runners at first and third and 2 men out, and the ball caught by Rudy in the far left field corner. A good running catch by Joe Rudy.
Ralph, I'm not sure, but it might be that now with the Mets coming to bat, they will go to the light again and turn them on, and they would be on for both the Mets and the A's in the 10th. But there is a delay here as Donatelli walks toward the Oakland dugout again.
The shadow that extends from first to third is just about 15 feet in front of the pitching rubber. And the hitting area from that point all the way to home plate is in darkness or in a shadow, with the rest of the field bathed in sunlight. We will pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Ralph Connor, this is Jim Simpson, and no, not a thing has happened since we left you for that pause for station identification. Dick Williams is still talking. The lights have not come on. Fingers continued to throw, and finally he stopped throwing. Harrelson continues to wait around, and so do we.
There have been 33 extra inning games in World Series play. The last one was on October 16, 1971, the 6th game of that series. It was won by Baltimore 3-2 in 10 innings. The longest extra inning game in World Series history came on October 9, 1916 at Boston when the Red Sox beat Brooklyn 2-1 in 14 innings. Now it's Bud Harrelson in the batter's box. We're set to go. The lights have been turned on. And Raleigh Fingers on the mound. Fingers 7 and 8 in the regular season. The first pitch to Harrelson, a fastball. It's swung on and missed, strike 1. The last 8 times that a series game went into extra innings, it was decided in the 10th inning. 1 strike count to Bud Harrelson. Tug McGraw, the on-deck batter. And here's the pitch. And it's taken low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fingers was in 62 ball games in the regular season, had a 1.92 average, had 22 saves during the year. And the 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. It's now 1-2. Harrelson singled in the 6th and drove in a run. He's had 1 hit and 6 times up in the series. Batting left-handed now against the right-hand pitcher, George Stone, throwing in the bullpen for the Mets. The 1-2 delivery. It is taken inside, and Harrelson almost falls down as he tries to get out of the way, going across home plate and onto the other side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vida Blue started the ball game, went 5 1/3, was charged with 4 runs, gave up 4 hits. Pena was in the ball game, gave up 2 hits, did not retire a batter. Next pitch to Harrelson is swung on and fouled back against the screen, and the count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Darrell Knowles worked 1 2/3 innings, gave up only 1 hit, but committed an error that scored. John Odom went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits and no runs. 2-2, and the pitch back to Harrelson. Line out towards shortstop and on by the shortstop, Campaneris, on his glove side, and the Mets have a runner at first base with no one out. Harrelson's second hit of this game, the second of the series, and it brings up Tug McGraw in a bunting situation. McGraw has batted once in this ball game. He was struck out by Odom, but in this situation, he'll be in a bunting sacrifice try situation. Mets getting their 10th base hit of the game. A's have had 11 at 6-6. No one out in the 10th inning. McGraw, right-hand batter. Third baseman Sal Bando is in about 80 feet from home plate. Now he moves in very close. Here's the pitch. McGraw bunts it out to the mound and play might go to second. There it goes, and it is in time. The left base at second base. The runner is called safe at second base by Paul Pryor. And Harrelson on great speed just beat the throw. So coming on back to first base got Doug McGraw, so they pick up an out, and it's a sacrifice for McGraw. It is scored 1-6-3. That brings up Wayne Garrett. Garrett has homered in this ball game. He is 1 for 4. His only base hit of the series. He's been up 9 times officially. He also has walked, and he has struck out 3 times. Garrett, a left-hand batter. Let's have the go-ahead run at second base here in the 10th with 1 away. And the first pitch to Garrett. He takes it low and outside the ball. Garrett's home run came in the 3rd to put the Mets only 1 run back of the A's, who scored 2 runs in the first inning. Mets got a run back in the second when Cleon Jones homered. A's took a 3-1 lead with a run in the bottom of the second, and then the Mets got their second run in the top of the 3rd. They scored 4 in the 6th, and the A's got back in the ball game with a run in the 7th and tying the game with 2 in the 9th. The next pitch to Garrett, grounded in the hole out toward first base. A bad hop, but taken by Kenneth to go to first base is not a good throw, and Fingers is off the bag. He is called safe by Jerry Newdecker, the first base umpire. And on the play, Harrelson goes to third. That ball grounded down to first. It took a very high hop, and Kenneth made a great play to catch it. His throw to Fingers covering at first base was a little bit high, and Fingers was not on the bag. In the bullpen for the Oakland A's, Paul Lindblad, a left-hander throwing. Now time is called as Ray Fosse, the catcher, walks out to the mound. The third baseman, Sal Bando, also talking with Raleigh Fingers. And coming out to the mound is Dick Williams, the manager of Oakland. Error charged on that play. So now Oakland has made 3 errors in the ball game to the Mets 1. As a guess, Rob, the error on the throw, because Kenneth did a fine job to get there, and of course all Fingers covering the bag was trying to do was catch the ball, and the ball was just thrown too high for him. A very tough scoring decision because he made an outstanding play on the very high hop, the bad hop, to catch the ball at all. So the conference at the mound. Williams talking with his pitcher, Raleigh Fingers. He has a left-hander in the bullpen. The Mets have Felix Millan coming up, a right-hand batter. And, of course, we remember yesterday when Millan, the slick-fielding infielder, allowed the error that allowed 2 unearned runs to come in, the runs which the A's used to beat New York by the score of 2-1. Now, in a tie situation in the 10th, here's Millan with a go-ahead run at third base with 1 out and a perfect chance to atone for what happened yesterday. You know it's in his mind. Millan in this ball game is 0 for 4. He was walked intentionally in the 6th inning. He had 1 base hit and 4 times up in the first game. Now the A's are playing the infield in for a play at the plate. Harrelson the runner with good speed. Millan, a right-hand batter. Here's the first pitch. And it's taken low, and on the play, Harrelson breaks up. It was evidently a safety squeeze play, and Harrelson almost in a situation where he was caught halfway down the line from third. Earlier in the ball game, on a suicide squeeze play with Dick Green at the plate, that was back in the 3rd. Green missed the ball, and the Mets trapped the runner Gene Dennis off third and got a big out. So the pitch called the ball, and Millan out of the batter's box now steps back in. Harrelson scrambling back to third. There was no throw from Ray Fosse. He evidently didn't know where Harrelson was. Harrelson diving back into the bag even though there was no throw. 1 ball, no strike. Millan waiting for Raleigh Fingers. And here's the pitch. It is lined down the right field line. It's foul. All foul by 6 or 7 feet down the right field line, and the count now 1-1. That ball was well hit. But a foul ball, the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Shortstop Campy Campaneris in to talk to his pitcher at the pitching mound. Now goes back to a shortstop position that's shaded over towards third in the hole. Big wide gap right through the middle. Young finger sets up, checks at third base. Now at first. Here's the pitch to Leon, and it's taken high, a fastball. This was high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Leon steps back with his front foot out of the batter's box. Checks with the third base coach, Eddie Yost. Now gets in the hitting position. Ollie fingers. Goes to the set position. Again checks the runners. And his 2-1 delivery. It's hit out to shallow left field. Coming up is Joe Rudy. Tags up a third is Harrelson. Rudy in shallow left field makes the catch. Here comes Harrelson. The throw to the plate looks good. Harrelson flies by. And he's thrown out by Donahue, who was thrown on the ground. Monticelli called him out. He was thrown on the ground. And the Mets are in a vicious argument. Yogi Bear out there saying he was not touched. And someone, I believe, has been thrown out of the ball game. Willie Mays waiting there. He was in the on-deck circle, and Yogi Bear continuing his argument. It goes as a double play, and the side is retired.
Well, by watching the instant replay here on our television monitor in the booth, I can see the throw coming in to the catcher Fosse, and well, he went right by. You could not tell definitively whether he tagged him or not. The ball was there in plenty of time. What they're arguing is, did he tag him?
I'd have to say, from my opinion, he did not tag him as Fosse went down to make the tag on a sliding runner, and Harrelson jumped over him and touched home plate. But that is the umpire's decision. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left. And the score after 9.5 innings, the Mets 6, Oakland 6.
Well, here's our first real rhubarb of the 1973 series. I remember a play down in Cincinnati, Ralph, where they called it Burkhart's play when he had his back to the play. In this particular case, Donatelli was on the dugout side of the foul line at third base. The catcher, Fosse, was between himself and the runner who was coming down on the infield side of the line, so Donatelli did have a man, the catcher between himself and the runner. He called him out. It's academic. We're in the last of the 10th.
Now Tug McGraw with his first pitch to the catcher, Ray Fosse. It's a screwball over for a called strike. McGraw working since the 6th inning. Doug has been reached for 3 runs on 4 hits. He has struck out 4 and walked 2. His pitch back to Fosse is high, and it's a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fosse has rounded out the second the 2 times he has faced McGraw. He is 0 for 3 in his right-hand batter. He'll be followed by Mike Andrews. Now the pitch back by McGraw. A wild swing at a screwball. Fosse way out in front, and it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Tying up the ball game with 2 runs in the 9th inning. And we are now in the bottom of the 10th. It's tied at 6-6. Here's the pitch back to Fosse again, a screwball, and it's outside. They count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Darren Johnson led off in the 9th inning for Oakland and hit a fly ball to left field. Willie Mays left center field. Willie Mays fell down on the ball and went for a 2-base hit. Now McGraw at 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and McGraw has his 5th strikeout. After Johnson hit the double that Mays could not handle, Campaneris was struck out, but then Rudy grounded out the third for the second out of the inning. Al Bando took a very close 2-2 pitch, which was called ball 3, and then walked. And Reggie Jackson bounced one between first and second base, between the first baseman and the second baseman, and a run scored. Runners at first and second, and on the next pitch, Gene Tennis singled to left field to tie up the ball game. Now the next batter is the second baseman, Mike Andrews, and the first pitch is swung on and grounded foul. Met pitchers are combined to strike out 12 Oakland A's in this ball game. McGraw has struck out 5. And his next delivery, a fastball in for a called strike, and it's a 2-strike count. Mike Andrews was a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. He bounced back to the mound. McGraw reading the signs, now goes into the windup, and the 2-strike delivery. It is down low, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shadow has extended beyond the pitching mound now, so it's much easier for the hitter. Next delivery, it's inside. Fastball missing, 2-2. McGraw McGraw appeared 60 times during the season for the Mets. He had a record of 5 saves. Now time called as Mike Andrews steps out of the batter's box. The controversial play will be talked about for a long, long time. Next pitch is in the dirt. It bounces away. And it's 2-2. Augie Donatelli, the senior umpire in the National League, makes his home in St. Petersburg, Florida. And here's McGraw's next pitch. It is in and called a strike. So the second strikeout for Tug McGraw in the inning and his sixth in the ball game. That's 13 for the Met pitchers, and it will bring up Raleigh's Finger. Fingers batted one time in yesterday's ball game and was struck out. He was struck out by Tug McGraw, who worked 2 innings in yesterday's game. The first pitch is taken for a ball. Fingers, the right-hand batter. 2 men away, bottom of the 10th, it's 6-6. And McGraw into the windup is next pitch. Swung on and missed. Fingers with a hard swing at the fastball. Counted 1 ball and 1 strike. And at 1-1, the next delivery. It is just inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Don't forget that after this game, the scene shifts to New York and Shea Stadium, and Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Tom Seaver against Jim Hunter. Here's a high pop up to center field. Mays moving up, having trouble with it at first. Now he has to run faster, and he comes in and he makes the catch. And the side retired in order by Tug McGraw. And the score at the end of 10, the Mets 6, the A's 6. We're going now to the top of the 11th inning, and the ball game tied up at 6-6. Willie Mays, the leadoff for the Mets, and here for the play-by-play, Jim Simpson.
All right, Ralph. We made some kind of history, modern-day history. Remember what Ralph said. The last 8 times that a series game went into extra innings, it was decided in the 10th inning. No series game has gone more than 10 since Brooklyn beat New York in 11 back in 1952. And here we are in the 11th today. Mays got a single first time up yesterday in the World Series, filling in for Staub, went 1 for 4. Fingers throws up high to Willie. Ball 1. Mays having trouble in the end of the 10th on that high pop-up off the bat of Fingers because of the sun. And I'll pursue that in a moment as Fingers comes right back, up high again, 2-0. Rudy was being warmed up by a man from the Oakland bullpen, which was directly to his right and toward the sunlight. And the Oakland bullpen player had to run out into the outfield in front of him, looking away from the sun to warm him up with a couple of throws before this 11th inning began. Looking into the sun is just too much. 6-6. We are in the 11th. Willie Mays, who started a World Series as a rookie in 51, is in this World Series now. Fouls this one off to the right on a 2-0 count. It's now 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, they're going to be talking about that call by Augie Donatelli at home plate. Harrelson tagging at third after the neon fly to Rudy in left field. Ball got there. Question was, did it tag? It's inside the maze. Did Fossey tag Harrelson? Decker down at first base, made no call. He was in a position. It was Donatelli's call all the way at home plate. Hayes agreed. The Mets did. 3-1. He swings on a 3-1 pitch, pops it up right side. Tennis first baseman, fair territory, at the line, and has it going down to one knee. Everybody's getting a case under those towering flies that pop up. They are really shaky as they look up into that sky. That'll bring up Cleon Jones, homered in the second. 6-6 our score, and the 11th with 1 out. Well, for a moment with 2 out, in the last of the 9th, you kind of felt the Mets were going to go back to New York all kind of a guarantee. It was not to be. They almost got a run in the 10th. That was not to be. Here we are in the 11th, and Fingers throws. Breaking pitch that fails to catch the inside corner. Ball 1. 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for New York. 6 runs, 11 hits, and 3 errors. For the A's, the error by Tennis in the 10th put them in deep trouble, but they got out of it. Another breaking pitch. This one does come across the plate to the right-handed Jones. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lights are on, and a ball game already is well over 3 hours old. Game 2 of the 72 World Series. This is the 70th World Series in history. Fingers ready. Sidearming again with the breaking pitch. Jones swings and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Raleigh Fingers. It's straight up on right-handed batter. He'll drop down and throw that breaking pitch, and it looks like it's coming from third base. Breaks out, down and away. And the right-handed swingers, but by that time they've committed themselves. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fingers ready, comes back with a fastball, misses low and away. 2-2. Bando and Garrett take turns guarding that line by third base. Neither one wants to give up the extra base hit. Bando now just a step away from the foul line behind third base. 2-2 the count. There's that wide sweeping pitch, and he is hit. Helia, who came on and hit a man. Brody back in the sixth for the sidearm delivery. Now Jones hit by the sidearm delivery of Raleigh Fingers. So the go-ahead run goes down to first base with 1 out, and John Milner, the left-hander, comes up. He grounded out and lined out, and Simpson in the sixth he singled and scored, walked, and singled again in the ninth. 2 for 4 plus a walk. On deck is Brody. 1 out of the 11th. Fingers from the stretch with Jones, who checks him over at first base. Jones only attempted to steal 2 bases all year long, successful 1 time. That is, it's said so often, the Mets are not a running ball club. Or at least were not during the regular season, because Jones bluffed there as Miller fouls it back. 1 strike. Jones bluffed going towards second base. 6-6. For the final 2 runs of the ball game, coming in the last of the ninth with 2 outs. Fingers ready, throws inside, and Miller has to get out of the way with that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Frosty walks out. Say something to Raleigh Fingers. Nobody at all in the Oakland bullpen. Nor in the Mets bullpen. Breeze blowing from left to right. Milner, a power hitter. 23 home runs during the regular season. Has the count of 1-1. Jones leads away, picks on a off-speed pitch, and fouls it off to the right toward the Mets dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Andrews and Campaneris are in the sunlight at short and second. Tennis and Bando at first and third are well in the shade. As they sit to Raleigh Fingers, is about to throw with a 1-2 count to John Milner. Jones not going, ground ball foul again, almost in the same spot toward the Mets dugout, and picked up by the same young man over there. And so Donatelli calls for a new stack of baseballs and has them. And the count remains 1-2 to John Milner. Well, I'm sure many people got in their cars, not too many because they're still pretty well filled, and headed out of Oakland Coliseum only to find that since they left, the ball game has been tied and still in doubt. Breaking pitches too low and away. Fingers thought he had it. It's strike 3. It's 2-2. Catfish Hunter, Tuesday night for the A's, Tom Seaver. In New York, they call him Tom Terrific for the New York Mets. Jones not going, and swinging a miss on an off-speed breaking pitch from Raleigh Fingers. Milner strikes out for the second out. Nine strikeouts now for the A's pitching staff. There have been 12 by the Mets pitching staff. Brody, the right-hander, preparing to step in now, getting some dirt on his hands. Still stationed at first base after being hit by the pitch. It's 3 on Jones. Raleigh Fingers steps on. John Hahn has walked out in the on-deck circle, swinging at that. Fastball right down the middle. Well, Fingers have been changing on his pitches quite a bit. He's been coming sidearm with the breaking pitch away from the right-handers or in on the left-handers. And he struck out Milner on an off-speed pitch, and he starts Brody out with a fastball. Strike one. Back again with another fastball, just missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of the banners here, a good portion belongs to New York Mets rooters. However, there's one sign down to our left that says, "Where is New York?" 1 ball, 1 strike. Sidearm again. The breaking just misses inside, and again, Fingers doesn't like the call of Augie Donatelli. 2 balls, 1 strike. Lindblad up and throwing again in the Oakland bullpen. In one, Fingers taking his time, but Cleon Jones at first base. Now throws, fastball, misses on the outside corner, and it's 3-1. Fingers has been all around that plate. 3 balls, 1 strike. 3-1. Jones might be going. It's good as kept the call. No, he's not. And there's a line drive over the head of Campanella. Base hit. Rudy comes on in, stopping at second. It's Cleon Jones. Brody swinging on the 3-1 pitch. Then Jones down to second. Fingers gives up his second hit. That's 11 now for New York and 11 for Oakland. And here comes John Hahn, who has one of them in 5 attempts. That was a slow roller up the third baseline that Bando couldn't make a play on. It drove in a run. And in the 4-run sixth of New York, Hahn later scored. Jones away from second. Brody from first. Fingers looks back to second and throws to Hahn. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 1. Hoffman walks out and says something to Fingers before flipping the ball back to him. Harrelson on deck in this 6-6 game. Each team has 6 runs, each team has 11 hits. Oakland got in deep trouble with one of its 3 errors, which allowed 2 unearned runs to score, and were very nearly in trouble in the 10th inning because of an error. Bill Harrelson was cut down at the plate on a throw from Rudy. A play which the Mets said was not so. Foul off to the right. This will make it, I believe, into the seats, giving chase down the right field line. It's at least a half a dozen rows back. Lou went over from right field. Kenneth came back from first base, and Andrews was also pursuing it, but the ball was well back in the seat. A lot of room in foul territory. Now Fingers doesn't want to make a mistake. He's way out ahead of Don Hahn. He's got him 0-2. With runners at first and second, and 2 out of the 11th. In the last of the 11th, the A's will send the top of their batting order up: Campanella, Rudy, and Bando against Tug McGraw. But they're not out of this half of the inning yet. On waits, right-handed batter, closed stance, Fingers throws, fastball that is too high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Operating with an 0-2 count, Fingers came in with a high fastball up in the eyes, and Hahn didn't offer. Fingers now accepts the second sign from Posse. Nods, looks back, and throws the sidearm breaking ball grounded toward Campaneris. He will go to first base and throws and has it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the last of the 11th of a 6-6 World Series ball game. Jim Simpson with Ralph Cutter, Tug McGraw continuing his warm-up. McGraw started twice in 1973. On one occasion, he pitched 6 innings. On another 5 2/3 innings. In relief, his longest game is 5 1/3 innings. He is now starting his 6th inning in relief here in Oakland with a 6-6 ball game. Campaneris to lead it off. Campaneris has scored twice. Been hit by a pitch. 1 for 4. Swings. Courtyard at third base on 1 hop. Throws on low, but Miller has it. And Campaneris is an easy first out of the Oakland 11th. 21 years since the World Series game has gone this distance, the 11th inning. And if we go past 11, we'll look back into the history books to see how long it has been. One has gone at least 12 innings. Joe Rudy got hit the first 2 times up, scored a run. He is 2 for 4 plus a walk. Oakland got 2 runs in after 2 out in the ninth to tie this game at 6-all. Breaking pitch catches the inside corner. Rudy stares back at Donatelli, the umpire. It's strike 1. And now Rudy steps out and looks down to Herb Norn. He yells in from his third base coaching box. McGraw sets the pitch again. Throws. Looks like a screwball. Rudy swung and missed. Strike 2. 0-2 to Rudy, who steps back in. Up. McGraw started his one-up and almost tripped on the rubber and stopped. Longest game in series history. 3 hours and 28 minutes. We have eclipsed that, folks. This is the longest World Series game ever in point of time. Because we started at 1:30, so we're at least at 3 hours and 32 minutes. Something among a little list of trivia. When was the longest World Series game ever played? Answer, today. Back and strikes him out swinging. Looks like that's screwball again. Jim, the longest game ever played in total time ever in the history of baseball was played by the Mets against the Giants, 7 hours and 23 minutes. And you know, because as I recall, you're waiting to your post-game show in New York. And how many hours did you have to wait? I had to wait at least 4 hours. Here's Sal Bando. Walked and scored an important run, the tying run in the 9th inning. John Simpson fouled for third base. 6-6, 2 outs, last of the 11th. 1 strike to Bando. McGraw got Campaneris and Rudy easily on a routine grounder and a swinging strikeout. Now comes back and throws to Bando up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is not a getaway day for the teams. They will leave tomorrow for the East Coast. Off-speed pitch stays too high. 2 balls, 1 strike. So they'll get the jump on that time. They'll be back there with a 3-hour time difference. Have tomorrow night to rest, and then they will not play until Tuesday night. Bando swings and fouls this one to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Doug McGraw hoping to match his longest stint on the mound ever this year of 6 innings if he can retire Bando. And he does with a swinging strike 3. McGraw never looked stronger than he did in this inning, getting Campaneris, Rudy, and Bando on a run. There's none left at the end of 11. It's still New York 6 and Oakland 6. David McGraw will be batted for you. It's 6 innings. It's on to 11 innings. It is 6-6, and the bouncing ball goes right back to Ralph Kiner for inning number 12.
Thank you very much, Jim. Bud Harrelson, the leadoff for the Mets. He singled in the 10th inning. The first batter that Fingers pitched to when he came in the ball game in the 10th. Bud has had 2 hits in this ball game, and the first pitch by the right-hander is in front. Harrelson singled to right in the 6th inning to drive in a run. Each side has had 11 base hits, and it's a 6-6 ball game. Raleigh Fingers, a right-hander, and he comes back and misses low inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Doug McGraw is the on-deck batter. Fingers reading the sign from his catcher, Ray Fossey, and his next delivery is in for a called strike. 2-1. Harrelson batting left-handed against the right-hander, tilts up in his bat. Outfield is shallow. Tips it around toward left field. Here's the next delivery. It's swung on and missed, and it's a 2-2 count. Fingers in 15-9 batters has given up 2 hits. He has struck out 1. He also has hit a batter. 2-2. The windup and the next delivery. Harrelson takes it outside, breaking the full count at 3-2. The Oakland pitchers have struck out 9 Met batters, and the Met pitchers have struck out 15 Oakland batters. And the 3-2 pitch. Harrelson lines it into right center field. There might be extra bases coming over. Is the right fielder Lou? He can't get to it. It bounces down. Harrelson on his way to second base with a belly slide, and he's in safely. Bud Harrelson leading off with a two-base hit. And the Mets have the go-ahead run at second base with the next batter being Doug McGraw. And McGraw is going to be up to the plate, and he will be in a possible bunting situation. Mets now have their 12th base hit in the ball game. They have out hit Oakland now, 12-11 in this 6-6 game. And a conference at the mound as Sal Bando talks it over with the pitcher, Wally Singer. Harrelson now has had 3 hits in this game. Mets have had 2 home runs, the only ones in the ball game. Oakland has had 6 extra base hits. Mets have had 3. The A's are looking for a sacrifice attempt. Harrelson has good speed, the runner at second base. McGraw the batter, and a play is put on, and nothing happens as Harrelson goes back to the bag. The third baseman broke over toward the line. The shortstop going to third base if the play had gone off. And the second baseman coming back to cover the bag at second base, but Harrelson not fooled by the play. Bando walked over to tell the play now to Fingers. Then he puts his hand to his face to show the second and third man first baseman what it is, the shortstop, he's going to do on this play. Ball is hunted and bunted by the third baseman. It'll be a base hit. The pitch to the plate, and Bando was charging as the shortstop was going over to cover third base, and the ball bunted so hard that Bando could not get to it as he ran right on by it. So Tug McGraw gets an infield bunt base hit. The Mets have runners at first and third, so the razzle-dazzle by the Oakland ball club crossed up by the hard bunt by Bud Harrelson. I should say by Tug McGraw. So now runners at first and third. No one out, and the batter coming up is Wayne Garrett. When you put on the razzle-dazzle play, you leave yourself open to either a base hit, because none of the defensive areas are covered with all the different men covering different areas. Now the first pitch to Wayne Garrett. He swings and fouls it back into the stands. It's strike one. Third baseman coming up to field the bunt. Normally he stays back. And the shortstop coming over to cover at third base for the throw there. And that whole left side is left open. The second baseman is moving towards first base, so the right side is left open. 1 strike count. Wally Fingers working from the set position. The pitch to Garrett is taken low and inside, and the count is 1-1. Garrett has had a home run in his appearances here in this ball game. He has struck out. He also has walked, striking out 3 times, and he was safe on an error. Garrett, the best hitter for the Mets in their September pennant drive, batting with a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Garrett takes it high. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Fingers missing with a high fastball. Harrelson leading off with a double. And the bunt base hit by Tug McGraw. Infield is in all the way around for the Oakland A's for a play at the plate. Harrelson a short lead at third base. About 4 or 5 steps away. And the next pitch to Garrett is swung on its foul tip. So the count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes. Garrett in the month of September had 6 home runs and 17 runs batted in. And the end of the season hitting in 9 consecutive ball games. He has had a tough time so far in the World Series play. 1 base hit. And 10 times up. 2-2 the count. And Fingers next pitch. Swung on and missed, and Garrett is struck out for the 4th time in the game. That is a big strikeout for Wally Fingers. Now runners at first and second, where a double play could get the A's out of the inning, and the batter coming up is Felix Meehan. Meehan was up with Bud Harrelson on at third base in the 10th inning with 1 man out. Hit a short fly ball to left field. It was caught by Rudy, and Harrelson tagging up came in to score. He came in straight up, not sliding, and it appeared to be safe. He was called out by Augie Donatelli for a double play that ended the inning. That's argued very strongly, but of course did not win the decision. Throw me on in another difficult situation. Here's the first pitch. He swings and fouls the ball back. Back out of play. It's strike one. Leon is 0 for 5 in this game. He's 1 for 9 so far in the World Series. Right-hand batter, jokes up in the bat. Batted .290 for the season. Had 185 base hits, a new Met record for base hits in a single season. Fingers breaking back off the pitching rubber, trying to decoy one of the runners to make a move on the bases, but nothing happening. Now he gets back on the rubber, checks in, goes to the set position, and there's one strike there. Leon hits it out into foul territory on the first base side. Dennis out to get it, but he can't catch up with the ball, and it drops in foul territory beyond his reach. So the count now is strike 2 count against Felix Leon. Shortstop Campy Cabanera is in to talk to his pitcher on the pitching mound. Now Cabanera goes back to his shortstop position. Third baseman, Bando, second baseman, just about on the edge of the infield grass. And Fingers has a sign. Goes to the set position. And there's 2 strikes hit. It is a breaking ball rolling outside. 1 and 2. Ray Fossey walks the ball out in front of the plate, says something to his pitcher, and then tosses the ball out to the mound. Comes back to give out the sign. Bud Helton on at third base. Doug McGraw, the runner at first. Now Fingers to the set position. And the pitch. It is bunched up in the air out toward first base where Dennis has an easy play. He makes the catch 2 men away. That will bring up Willie Mays. 2 men out, runners at first and third. Mays batting for the second time. His first time up, he popped up to first base. Ollie Fingers getting 2 big outs. The strikeout on Wayne Garrett and the pop-up by Felix. And now it's up to Willie Mays for the New York Mets. Mays went in the game, replacing Rusty Staub in the batting order. Rusty was unable to make any long throws, so the Mets put in Mays, figuring that they were being positioned defensively in a much better position. As it turned out, a ball hit out toward Mays in center field was not caught, went for a 2-base hit, and that set it up for the rally that tied the ball game. First pitch to Mays, a fastball swung on and missed, strike 1. Mays played in the first game of this World Series, had 1 base hit and 4 times up. He had not started the ball game going back to September 15th before his appearance yesterday. 1 strike count. He and Rusty Staub are going back to New York early to take batting practice tomorrow. Here's the pitch. It is down into the middle. It's going to be a base hit, and Harrelson scores from third. Shaw goes down to second base and holds there, and the Mets take the lead by a score of 7-6 as Willie Mays singles through the middle, his second World Series hit in this 1973 year. And Raleigh Fingers took his glove and threw it straight up in the air, not trying to knock it down, but in disgust after the ball had already made it through to center field. Fingers almost getting out of the jam with brilliant pitching to Wayne Garrett and Felix Leon and giving up the base hit as Willie Mays, at the age of 42, has put the Mets in front 7-6. Now the batter coming up is Cleon Jones. He has a single and a home run, also has walked. Basically, he has been up 5 times in this game. And the first pitch to Jones, the curveball that swung on and foul tipped, strike 1. Jones homered in the second inning to get the Mets' first run, home run into the right field corner. Now Paul Lindblad is throwing again for Oakland in the Oakland bullpen. Mets with 3 base hits in the inning now have 14 in the ball game, and they have 7-6. And the next delivery to Jones over the outside, ball strike. Jones not agreeing with the call by Augie Donatelli. And it's a 2-strike count. draw the runner at second base. He'll be working in his 7th inning in this ball game when he starts off in the bottom half of the 12th. Here's the pitch back to Jones. The line drive to left field is hit hard. Rudy comes up, takes it in one bounce, and the draw is held up at third base. Wisely held up by Eddie Oates, the third base coach, and now the Mets have the bases loaded as Jones singles into left field. And the batter coming up is John Milner, a left-hand batter, and Dick Williams is now going out to the mound. He has a left-hand pitcher warming up in the bullpen, Paul Lindblad. The Mets have scored 1 run on 4 hits in the inning. And Paul Lindblad is coming in to pitch to the left-hand batter, John Milner. Raleigh Fingers gets credit for 2 2/3 innings of work. So far charged with 1 run. He gave up 5 base hits. He struck out 2 batters, and he walked none, but he hit 1. And it's going to be Paul Lindblad. He's making his first appearance of the series, the left-hand pitcher. Lindblad had an earned run average of 3.69. He won 1 and lost 5 in the course of the year. Appeared in 36 games, started 3. So he'll be working to John Milner. And this ball game, which started out with Oakland, coming up with all the base hits in the early part of the ball game, has swung around, and the Mets have stocked up 15 base hits to Oakland's 11. In the early part of the ball game, Oakland had 3 runs and 6 hits in the first 3 innings. The Mets over the first 4 innings had 2 runs on 3 hits. So the Mets trying to even the series with a year in Oakland, and this has been a wild ball game. Controversial play at home plate when the Mets thought they had scored the go-ahead run, but the out call made there on a double play from the outfielder on the fine throw by Joe Rudy. Nipping Harrelson at the plate on the call by Augie Donatelli. And now it's John Milner against the left-hander Paul Lindblad. McGraw, the runner at third base, Mays, the runner at second, and Jones, the runner at first. Lindblad working from the windup, and the first pitch to John Milner. Hit hard to the second baseman, and booted to the right of the second baseman. Mike Andrews, 2 runs to score. McGraw scoring from third, and Mays from second base as Jones goes over to third on the air. A similar error made by Felix Mayon in the first game that gave Oakland the win. So the Mets have 2 more unearned runs. They have picked up 2 unearned runs on a throwing error by the pitcher, Darrell Knowles, back in the 6th when they took the lead. And the Mets now leading by a score of 9-6, and the batter coming up is Gary Grody. Grody has had 2 hits in 5 official times up. And the first pitch to the right-hand batter is taken inside, a curveball for a ball. Mets with 3 runs in on 4 hits and an error. And runners at second and third, leading by a score of 9-6 as they bat in the top of the 12th inning. Now the pitch back to Grody, swung on and grounded foul, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. All 3 runs now scored against the record of Raleigh Fingers. Fingers working 2 2/3 innings has given up 3 runs on. And Lindblad with his 1-1 pitch to Grody, a half swing, and see which way it's called. Donatelli did not call it a strike. He appeals to the first base umpire, Jerry Newdecker, and he signals that Grody had swung far enough for it to be a strike. So the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. That error, incidentally, by the second baseman, Mike Andrews, the 4th error in the ball game by Oakland. The Mets have made 1. 1-2. Lindblad back to the plate. Grody grounds it foul on the third base side, so the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a good play by the ball girl down in foul territory, stationed down in left field. Here in Oakland, they have 2 ball girls, or normally it would be ball boys out there to take care of the foul balls. Just about a capacity crowd, if not a capacity crowd, and just about all the fans still here in the longest game ever played in the amount of time in World Series history. Ground ball again out to second. Coming over is Andrews. He fields the ball, goes wild to first base, and he falls center the bag, and another run scored. So Mike Andrews with his second error of the inning, and the Mets lead by a score of 10-6. Moving over to third is John Milner, and Brody safe at first base.
It's an error, Ralph, not only on the throw, but an error of omission, because I believe that Andrews is so sick about his full error, he trotted toward the bag as if to put the force on the man coming from first base. But there was nobody on first base. Then he realized he had to throw, and his throw just sent us off, and the run scored.
So the fifth error made by Oakland, and the Mets lead 10-6 with 4 runs in. And the batter coming up is John Hahn, the ninth man to bat in the inning. The Mets sent 10 men up in the sixth inning, and they scored 4 runs on 3 hits, and also a very big throwing error for 2 runs unearned. Here's the first pitch swung on a missed strike. Mike Andrews, the third second baseman used in this ball game. Dick Green started the ball game, then Ted Kubiak went into play. Green was batted for, and then Mike Andrews. Pitch Bond grounded out towards third. Mandel comes in, takes a good short hop, makes a good play, and throws to first base in time for the out. And that retires the side. But in the inning, 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and 2 men left. And the score at the end of 11 and a half innings, it's the Mets 10, the Oakland A's 6.
Well, 12 innings is the longest series game since the 12-inning game in 1945 between the Tigers and the Cubs. But that's history. The present tells us that the Mets have a 4-run lead as they begin the last of the 12th, and if they hang on to it, they will go back to New York, indeed with a split. In the first 2 series games, 3,000 miles away from home, here in Oakland, California. They had a shot in the ninth, but Oakland came up with 2 runs after 2 outs. It tied up. They thought they had the go-ahead run later on. You heard about the Neudecker call at home plate. It nullified that rally by the Mets, but finally they put it all together in the top of the 12th inning, sending 12 men to bat with those 4 runs, and now with McGraw starting his 7th inning, which was the longest he had pitched in 1973, trying to nail this down for a series victory for the Mets. Jackson, Tennis, and Alou, and here's Ralph.
Okay, Jim, and the first batter will be Reggie Jackson. He has been up twice against McGraw, and he has doubled and singled. He has had 3 hits in his last 3 times up, and he is 2 for 8 in the series. Got a big base hit in the 9th inning to put the A's in position to tie up the ball game, and Gene Tennis behind him tied it up with a single to left field after Jackson had singled to right. First pitch by McGraw. It's in for a called strike. McGraw has struck out 8. Came into the ball game in the 6th inning. And he has given up 4 hits, allowed 3 runs. 2 runs and 3 hits in the 9th to tie up the ball game. Next pitch is chopped out towards first base. It's foul. So a 2-strike count to Reggie Jackson. It'll be Reggie Jackson, Gene Tennis, and Jesus Alou, the first 3 batters for the A's. McGraw has been lost 6 in his season's record with 25 saves. This is his 2nd appearance in this World Series. He worked 2 innings yesterday. Doug waiting for Jackson to get set in the batter's box. Now goes into the lineup, and here's his 2-strike pitch. It is grounded foul. Ball off to the first base side, and as the ball rolls out into foul territory, George Stone gets up to throw in the bullpen for the Mets. Their left-hander who won 12 and lost 3 in the regular season. Jerry Koosman, way back when, was the starting pitcher. He worked 2 1/3 innings. Was charged with 3 runs. He gave up 6 hits, struck out 4, and walked 3. Next pitch is hit out to deep center field. Drawing back is Mays to the warning track. It might be gone, and the ball is off the top of the wall. Heading over the field, it is Leon Jones, and Jackson limping over to third base. He barely can get there. The ball almost gets him as he arrives, and evidently he either pulled a muscle or he turned an ankle. Jackson, the last 45 or 50 feet, just barely able to move.
He was coming out, Ralph. I remember that he was out for almost 3 weeks with a pulled muscle in his leg just at the time he was really rolling along to those 32 home runs and 117 RBIs. And when he came back, that was the end of the line as far as the power play is concerned. But he apparently is saying he is all right. He was motioning the trainer away, but Dick Williams wants to come out to check. And he's getting down stretching that right leg like he might have pulled a muscle in the back of the right leg. And as he does, Yogi Berra walks out toward the mound, where the Mets are having a convention, led by McGraw and Grody, and joined by Milner. And beyond, here comes Harrelson. Out goes Donatelli. Jackson still stretching that leg at third base, and Williams is now called back to trainer. Reggie missed all of the World Series last year, sliding into home plate in the final game of the playoff championship with the Detroit Tigers. Today, he was at spearhead in the last of the ninth inning when they tied it up, and he leads off the 12th as the A's are down by 4 runs with a triple that hit off the top of the wall, and Willie Mays having about the only place he could have some problems now in the area in which Mays had to go after that ball. Sunlight only covers a certain part of the deep center field part of this ballpark now. Mays couldn't get to it. Now no one talking to Jackson. Apparently he is all right. So it's not out. Jackson at third. Here's Gene Tennis, and here's Ralph.
That was the third triple in this ball game by the A's and the 7th extra base hit. Gene Tennis, the batter, he singled in the 9th to tie up the ball game. There's only a base hit in this game, and the first pitch by McGraw is in the dirt. It bounces away. Grody finds it off to the left side, and Jackson plays safe baseball and holds at third. McGraw had retired 7 batters in a row after the base hit by Gene Kennett before Jackson tripled to break up that string. 1 ball, no strike. McGraw into the windup and his next delivery. It is over the outside corner, a called strike. 1-1 the count. And George Stone continues to throw in the Met bullpen. Reading the signs from his catcher, Jerry Grody. The Mets leading by 4. No one out. We're in the bottom of the 12th. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. In the 7th inning, with runners at second and third and 2 men out, McGraw struck out Kenneth with a screwball. Here's the pitch back, and he misses low and outside, and McGraw now finding difficulties as his control starts to leave. 3 balls, 1 strike. Tennis out of the batter's box. Time is called. Harrelson is shifted over in the hole, the shortstop for the New York Mets. Now Tennis back in the batter's box. 3-1 the count. And McGraw into the windup. Here's the pitch. And it's in for a called strike. That puts the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. His big base hit in the 9th inning with 2 men away. Now, swing of the next delivery is fouled back in the screen, and the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the next delivery by McGraw is high, and Tennis walks. That puts runners at first and third, and here comes Yogi Berra, and that is all for Tug McGraw. We will pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Gene Tennis to a 3-2 count and then walked him. And that'll bring up Ballou, and that will take out Chuck McGraw, as Ralph said, and bring on George Stone. McGraw gave up in his 6th inning plus 3 runs, 7 hits, struck out 6, walked 1, responsible for the 2 men on base, of course, cannot lose the ball game, but Stone is coming on, hopefully, for the Mets side to shut down the Oakland A's and send this World Series on to its 3rd game at Shea Stadium in New York on Tuesday night, tied at a game apiece. The A's demonstrated in the last of the night they can come back. They came back 2 to tie it all, and now losing 10-6, they've got the first 2 on base.
George Stone, in the course of the season, had a record of 12 wins and 3 losses. He appeared in 27 ball games, 20 as a starting pitcher. And he worked 6 2/3 innings in the championship playoff game against the Cincinnati Reds that the Reds won eventually by a score of 2-1. In that ball game, Stone gave up only 1 run, allowed 3 hits, he struck out 4 and walked 2. 1 run he gave up was a home run by Tony Perez, who tied up the ball game in the 7th with that home run. It was later won by Pete Rose with a home run in the 12th inning. Buzz Capper, a right-hander, is throwing in the bullpen for the Mets. So George Stone, who had the best winning percentage in the National League, 12 wins and 3 losses, in the ball game for the Mets. Stone is the fifth pitcher used by Yogi Berra. Jerry Kuzman going 2 1/3 innings. Ray Sadecki 1 2/3 innings. Harry Parker 1 inning, and Doug McGraw 6. Stone was acquired along with Felix Mayon in a trade with Atlanta. Mets sending over Gary Gentry and Danny Priscilla. And Stone's first batter will be Jesus Salud. Salud has 2 hits and 5 times up in this game. He doubled in the first and singled in the third. No one out. We're in the bottom of the 12th. And Stone from the set position. The first pitch is high, ball 1. Reggie Jackson, who tripled, is on third base. Kenneth walking, the runner at first. Now Stone sets up. And it is 1-0 pitch to Lou. It strikes in the right field for a base hit. Jackson scores from third base. Kenneth goes to second base and holds there, and that puts the tying run at the plate. And the batter coming up is Ray Bossy. Is 0 for 4 in this game. Right-hand batter during the course of the season. Crosby hit 7 home runs. He had 52 runs batted in. He batted .256. And he represents the tying run in this ball game with runners at first and second base. Mets leading 10-7. Stone looking for the sign. Now goes to the set position. And the pitch. It is taken high, a ball. Crosby was walked intentionally in the first inning. Was robbed of a base hit by Meon in the sixth. Here's the pitch back, and it is low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Base hits in this game. 10 extra base hits, 7 by Oakland and 3 by the Mets. 2 balls, no strikes, and Fossey steps back out of the batter's box. Now Stone sets up as Fossey gets back in. Here's the pitch. And it's grounded to short. It should be 1 out. Harrison gets it, throws over to Meon for the fourth play at second base. And on the play, Kenneth goes over to third. So the Mets get their first out of a big necessary 3. And the batter coming up is Mike Andrews. He has batted twice, and he is 0 for 2. 17 runs in this ball game. The most in a series game since the fifth and final game of 1961 when the Yankees beat the Cincinnati Reds 13-5.
Well, the man at the plate now is there is much bigger than ever because there's a margin of difference. Mike Andrews as it comes up. And it's the pitch to Mike Andrews. The fastball low, it's ball 1. Mike Andrews has rounded back to the mound and was out back in the 8th inning. Third second baseman used by Dick Williams. He was struck out in the 10th by Doug McGraw. Stone looks in. Shadows completely around the field now. The pitch back to the plate, a fastball high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Going in the bullpen for Oakland is Jim Hunter, who is scheduled to be the pitcher in the ball game at Shea on Tuesday night. He'll be on the air for that one at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The 2-0 pitch. It is low, it's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. In that Tuesday night ball game, Tom Seaver will be pitching for the Mets. 3-0, and Stone shaky on the mound. He goes to the set position. Here's the pitch. It is ball 4, and the tying run is at first base. The go-ahead one, the winning run, will be at the plate. Andrews
walking on 4 pitches. And now it's Milner talking with George Stone at the mound. And Vic Cavallio is at the on-deck circle. Vic Cavallio. Vic Cavallio was the hitting hero of the final win by Oakland over Baltimore. He batted 188 for the season. He was in 38 ball games. He had no home run. And he will be batting for the pitchers. And here's the applause for Cavallio as he comes to the plate. Cavallio batting for Paul Lindblad. Left-hand batter hitting against a left-hand pitcher, something he seldom does. And George Stone working with the bases loaded. The first pitch, a curveball, a big swing by Cavallio at strike one. Oakland has had 13 base hits and 7 walks, and they've had 1 batter hit by a big ball. Mets leading 10-7. The bases loaded for Oakland. Man out. We're in the bottom of the 12th. Thrown back, and the pitch is a fastball, low and outside. 1-1 the count. Gene Kenneth, the runner at third base. Ray Foster, the runner at second base. Mike Andrews, the runner at first. And the pitch back to Cavallio, swung on and fouled back into the stands, and the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Batter's box now gets back in. And George Stone goes to the set position. The 1-2 pitch. It is grounded slowly towards first base for foul. So the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Stone back up on top. It's not been a perfect ballgame by any means, but it has been exciting. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Cavallio swings and fouls it back out of play, and the count again stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. There have been 6 errors made in this game, 5 by Oakland. 28 base hits, 17 runs scored. And it's not over yet. 2 strikes. Cavallio, a tough man to double up. He has good speed to first base. Here's the pitch. And he pops it up. Ball out to Leon at second base. He moves a couple of steps back in the outfield grass. He makes the catch on the infield fly. And the Mets now are not away from going back to New York. Even up with the Oakland A's. And the batter coming up for Oakland will be Campy Campanera. Campanera has had 1 base hit and 5 times up in this game, a triple to right center field. He also was hit by a pitch ball. He has scored twice. Bud Helson, the shortstop for the Mets, comes into the mound. Has something to say to George Stone. Now goes back out to his defensive position. Kapler still throwing in the bullpen for the Mets, the right-hander. Stone leans in, takes the sign, goes to the set position. And the pitch. And it's in for a call strike. Jim, I don't really know why Stone is working from the set position with Freeman out and the bases loaded. Perhaps it's striking. Must be. Now at 1 strike. The pitch back to Campanera. It is grounded to short. Helson moves up, fields the ball, throws across the diamond in time, and the Mets win it. And they have tied up the series at 1-1. A's falling behind on their rally with 1 run in the final inning. They had 2 hits. They left on. And the Mets win it by a score of 10-7.